Hi, back with some curls. Well, they're my curls. I needed a break. I needed a break from the wig, but the wig will be back. It'll be a different wig, but it'll be back. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm not even wearing my robe today. I'm wearing a moo. Yeah, I'm wearing a moo, and I just love this moo so much. But yeah. Sorry for the erratic moo noise. Anyway, anyway, all right. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to look for everything in the link tree, in the description, in the bio. So I wanted to talk about this subject today primarily because I don't know. I have thoughts about a lot of things in regards to this topic. Okay. So, how do I even start this off? Okay. So, men have really good boundaries. They have really, really strong boundaries, like really, really strong boundaries. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I would say on a weekly basis, either in my real life, but more so here on the internet, I'll have somebody ask me, especially once they know that like I don't want to get married. I'll have somebody ask me, "Well, if you met the right man and he was perfect, would you decide to get married?" And every single time I give the exact same answer. The answer is no. If the right man was in front of me right now and asked me to marry him, I would say no. Okay? And the reason being is because the right man wouldn't want to get married because I don't want to get married, right? Cuz like I care more about my boundaries more than I care about the love that I would have for another person, right? Like if a man was like if a man's saying that he wants a woman to like cook and clean and be submissive and have his children and going 50-50, and he's looking for a baddie to do all this stuff with, I really don't think someone's going to ask a man, "Oh, well, what if the perfect woman," and like let's just say this man refuses to get married. Like, do you really think that a man would ever ask a man, "Well, if you get the woman that comes into your life and like she has all of those things, would you marry her?" No, he would say no. He'd be like, "No." Men say this all the time. Men literally will say, "She's perfect. She's everything that I want, but I don't want to get married." Like men will literally have the woman that possesses everything that they want and they will not marry her because their boundaries are that strong. Like cuz it has nothing to do with you, right? And it has everything to do with the fact that the man's boundaries is so strong on marriage that it's not going to be a perfect person. He's a man is never going to see a person so perfect that he would be willing to compromise his own boundaries out of love for that person. That's just not how men operate. And I operate the same way. Know my boundaries. It's never going to be the perfect man that's going to ever get me to marry him because I don't want to get married. I am never going to like or love someone to the point that I would want to get married to them because I don't give a fuck about them. I give a fuck about me and I give a fuck about my boundaries and I don't want to get married. So I don't care how good you look or how much money you have or how you treat me or anything like that. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I'm not getting married. There is nothing that you're going to be able to do that's going to convince me to get married to somebody because my boundaries is stronger than the love that I have for another person. And this is something that women don't know how to embody. This is something that women don't understand because women don't have boundaries. Women don't have boundaries. Women have negotiations is what they have. Women will have negotiations around what standards they have. You can in most cases talk a woman out of her standards. Like women are constantly making concessions for men based off of them having one. Like I would like to say that it's probably a universal experience that every woman has slept with a man that she really didn't want to sleep with, right? She's went out on a date with a man that she really wasn't all that attracted to, right? She's like overstayed her welcome in a relationship with the guy that she really wasn't into, because women are constantly making these concessions because women don't see boundaries as rules. Men see boundaries as rules. Like, men literally have boundaries of, every time I'm in a relationship, I'm going to make sure that I benefit out of the relationship. Like, that's a boundary for a man. Men don't negotiate that because men see a boundary as a rule. They see it as something like, if it gets broken, I don't want any parts. So when you get the terminal illness, they're out of there because the rule's been broken. You can no longer be any benefit to me. So I don't care about how much love I have for you, because I cannot love you and honor my boundaries at the same time. The two things cannot coexist at the same time. So there's never going to be a time where a man's going to break his boundaries out of love for you, because in most cases, the boundary is always going to be centered around the man choosing himself and making sure he honors the rules that he has for himself. Whereas women, it's the women that are like, oh, well, if you were sick, or if you were to gain weight, or if you were to make money, those are not boundaries. Those are negotiations. Those are negotiations. I have to negotiate with the fact that you don't have any money, but because you don't have any money, I'm going to love you anyway. I'm going to negotiate with the fact of, okay, I'll have you here even if you don't have money. I'll be here even if you don't have your shit together. Women have no boundaries. All women do is just negotiate every fucking standard that they have. And then they get mad. Then they get mad when they don't get what it is that they were benefiting. How can you benefit? How can you benefit when you're signing up to take the short end of the stick in the negotiation? Like, you're negotiating for the other person to get 80% while you're getting 20%. And then you get upset as to why you're getting 20%. Men don't ever do that. That's not a concept for men at all. Men are over here like, no, I'm just going to make sure that I can have the best outcome happen for me. And if that means that it's at the expense of you, well then, oh well, so be it. But I'm not breaking my own rule. I'm not breaking my own rule. I love you, but like, I love me more. And like, I just get so frustrated whenever people ask me that question of like, if the right man were to come into your life, would you negotiate your boundaries for this man? No, the fuck I wouldn't. And you shouldn't either. Like, it should never even be a thought in your mind of, if the right man came into my life, I would have children or I would get married. Like, is it your standard, or is it, because that at that point, that means it's not your standard. It's not your standard. That means that your standard is reliant on another person, which then means that it's not your standard. Like, the Sovereign Woman talks about this, like the difference between being child free and being childless. When you're child free, it's your decision that you're making, no matter what it is that's in front of you. Even if you have a man in front of you and you think that he'll be the greatest father ever, you'll be taken care of, you'll have all the money possible. Being child free is that even if that's presented in front of you, you're still not having a child, because your mind is already made up. You're not having a child for anyone. Childless is when you're like, I want to have children, but because the right man hasn't come around yet, that's the reason why I don't have children. So your standard is dependent upon the action of another person. And I genuinely believe that women should stop thinking like that. Men are not thinking like that. Okay? They try to tell you that they're thinking like this. This is why they say things like, oh, I'm not a player anymore. I don't cheat anymore. Like, I'm hanging up my jersey. I'm not out in the streets anymore because of this woman. And then you find out that their ass never stopped cheating, right? You come to find out that their asses never stopped entertaining other women. Yeah, because that doesn't exist. No one's going to change their behavior for you. They're not going to do that. They're not ever going to change the behavior for you. Of course, they're going to make it seem like they are, because they understand that you work harder out of validation from men, and you work harder when you have the need to feel special and you have the need to feel like you are an exception. So they know that if they tell you that and they say, "Oh, well, normally I don't do this for women," or normally, um, I don't want to get married, but because I met you and I'm entertaining marriage, or I don't act this way, and now all of a sudden you actually got me acting like this. It's very few men that are genuinely at that point in their life where they're willing to lay down their pride and their ego to put themselves in a vulnerable position. Okay. The thing about it is that when men, that takes a high amount of vulnerability that most men will never get to. Most men are not going to lay down their ego and their pride on the floor with the risk of it being stepped on and taken advantage of simply because they love you. That's just not going to happen. Women are always the ones that are doing that. Like, there are women out here that had to learn the hard way of like getting talked out of the fact that they didn't want children. And then their boyfriend or husband talked them into having children. Oh, and then now guess what? They have a child, and now the child is like special needs. You know what I mean? Like, there's some ailment with the child. So you not only got talked out of your own boundary, but now you have to deal with like even more baggage because you got talked out of your own boundary. I don't believe that as a woman, you should ever be making concessions for a person just because they came into your life. In my opinion, I find that to be very dangerous because, like I said before, men don't have this frame of thought at all. They're not ever thinking, "Oh yeah, I'll stop cheating once I find the right one." They're going to say that, but I kid you not. There's no light switch that you're going to turn on for a man that's going to make him automatically want to stop cheating or want to start helping around the house or wanting to start practice having emotional intelligence just because you're in his life. Men are not going to sit here and negotiate what boundaries they have in regards to themselves just because they love you or just because they like having you around. Like, another reason why I wanted to talk about this too was because, so the last guy that I used to deal with or whatever, the reason why I don't deal with him anymore is because he proved to me that like he would not be willing to inconvenience himself to see me, despite the fact that whenever I see him, I will see him because I'm going in town to see my family. And so while I'm there seeing my family, I go see him and I go visit family while I'm at home. So I don't have a place of my own. So I have no choice but to drive to his place because obviously, like, I'm not trying to get it cracking with someone and my fucking, parents are under the same roof as us. So of course I'm going to go over to his place. But I explained to him, like, okay, number one, I really don't have any plans to visit back home regularly like I do, like I've been doing in the past, number one. And then also, number two, if I were to visit, like, I'm probably not going to be staying at my parents' house. Like, I'll be like staying at my own place, like a hotel or whatever, like that. So I pretty much posed to him, like, if we were to keep this thing going or whatever, like in most cases I would want you, like I would want you to come see me. Mind you, he was like 45 minutes away from me living, so I would drive 45 minutes to see him. I was gonna be like, where I was gonna be at a hotel with traffic, it might have inconvenienced him by like 30 fucking minutes. So he didn't say no, but he didn't say yes either. And in my opinion, when a man doesn't say yes, it always means no. And so I had cut him off. I instantly cut him off because I'm like, okay, cool. Like, and the thing about it is that I didn't take it personal. A lot of women take shit like that personal. I didn't take it personal at all because you want to know what? At the end of the day, he doesn't want to inconvenience himself. He doesn't want to drive. I cannot tell you how many men I've talked to, and they told me, I knew about a girl that they were talking to, right? And they would tell me that they liked the girl. They're like, yeah, I like the girl, but she lived too far away. I've literally had men tell me that before, that they really liked a girl that they were dealing with. And they were like, but I just don't want to drive 30 minutes away to go see her. So That's the reason why we don't talk anymore. Has nothing to do with the woman. Has nothing to do with the woman. It's the fact that if a man's boundaries is that I don't want to drive 30 minutes to go see somebody, that's their boundary. That's their boundary. That's what they're thinking. There is no amount of likeness that they're going to have for you that's going to make them all of a sudden decide that they want to go drive 30 minutes to go see you. It's just not going to happen. So I didn't even take it personal. I didn't take it personal at all. I just ended up cutting him off. This was back in May. This man literally just texted me. This man literally just fucking texted me talking about I know we haven't talked in so long and I miss you and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, I just called him out on it. I'm like, it's the fucking holiday. And you know, I usually come home for the holiday. Obviously, you're hoping that I've like forgiven you, which number one, I wasn't mad at you in the first place because that's not my problem. I don't care if you didn't want to inconvenience yourself to come see me. Doesn't matter. But obviously, we're not stupid. You know the holidays are here. I usually come home for the holidays. Obviously, you're checking in because you want to see if you can get some holiday punani. Like, and obviously, you already know where that's going with that because number one, I'm not even going back home for the holiday. First of all, and even if I was going back home for the holiday, and someone asked like the whole if he wanted to, he would. It's not about if he wanted to, it's about why he wants to. It's about why he wants to, because guess what this guy's now saying? Oh yeah, looking back, he was like, I understand what he's like. I really, really apologize. And I'm really shocked that you're not mad at me. And I pretty much told him, like, I was never mad at you. I just accepted the fact that you didn't want to inconvenience yourself to see me. And that's totally fine. And then he's like, but I realized that, like, I should be willing to inconvenience myself for people that I do like and for people that I want to deal with. No, now you want to inconvenience yourself because you want to be able to sleep with me because you haven't been able to sleep with anybody else. Because this is by his own admission. He's the one that's told me, yeah, I've only been able to sleep with one girl since I slept with you in May. So he wants to do it now. He wants to do it now because he doesn't have anybody else to do it with, quote unquote. Quote unquote. So even if a man wants to do it, that's not enough. Like, even if they quote unquote want to do it and then they end up doing it, that's not enough. I mean, if a man wants to sleep with you bad enough, he's going to do all the right things. He's going to say all the right things. He's going to check off all of the boxes. But if the intention is poor behind it, you're going to look back and be like, well, okay, I have all of this stuff. But if the intent behind it was poor, I mean, you're not going to get the outcome that you really, really want out of it. Because for a lot of women, this is the reason why it's so easy for men to manipulate women, because all men have to do is check off boxes. Women aren't even thinking about what's the intention behind that. Why are they hitting me up? Why are they reaching out to me? Because a lot of women, they would have taken that apology and been like, I understand. And I'm so glad that you came back. And I'm so glad that we're talking again. Like, a lot of women would be giving a man like that kudos for like apologizing, saying that he's willing to inconvenience himself, realizing where he went wrong. But yet you're never going to question why they're doing this. Like, what's changed between May and now that we're in November? Because you know that I come home for the fucking holiday. So you already know that in most cases we're going to be in close proximity. So you want to get in my good graces just to see if you have the opportunity to be able to sleep with me again. So of course you're going to do everything now when you know that you have a greater opportunity to sleep with me. I can't give you credit for that. Because the reason why you're doing it is because you're trying to sleep with me. You're not doing it because you actually feel bad, right? You're not doing it because you all of a sudden like me. No, you're doing it because there's something that you want. So this is the reason why, like, you cannot just take the things that men are doing for you and project these. A lot of the time, women project good intentions on the actions of men, and that's not enough. right? There's a ton of stories of women. Oh yeah, like he was nice. He paid for everything. He, opened every door for me, covered every check, pulled out every chair, was nice to everyone, was respectful to everyone. He did all the things because, like I said before, if a man wants to, he is going to do it. But because a man wants to doesn't mean he likes you. That's the difference. A lot of women project onto men that if he wants to, it's not if he wanted to, he would. It's if he wanted to, it means he likes me. That's really what it is. Not if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, it's because he likes me. And that's not the truth. That's not the truth. If they truly want something, they're going to do whatever it is that they need to do to get it. And guess what? If you don't allow them to do it, they're going to go to the next person and try to do it to them. And they're going to try to do it to them. The only reason why they haven't done the things that you want them to do is because there's a woman out there they're going to do it without having to do all the things that you require. That's the difference. That's the difference. Their boundary, they're not going to exceed their boundary to give you what you want. Has nothing to do with them liking you or not, because they know that, well, you want to know what? If I have to do all of this to deal with her, I don't want to do all of that. I don't want to put all in that effort to be able to deal with her. I'll go find someone else that doesn't want me to do all of that stuff. And mind you, by this man's own admission, he literally told me, he said, yes, I dealt with one girl, but she wanted a relationship and I really don't want a relationship. And so that's the reason why, like, we're not dealing with each other. That's obviously based off of what he's saying. That's his boundary. His boundary is that I don't want to be in a relationship. I want to go back to someone that doesn't require as much from me, i.e. me. Because I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be with somebody. That's the reason why he came back to me, because he knows, oh, well, I could sleep with her and there's not going to be this surmounting pressure of her wanting to get in a relationship with me. That's literally the only difference. It's not because he likes me more. It has nothing to do with his likeness for me. It's just simply that he doesn't have to go past his boundary to be able to sleep with me, because he knows that a woman wanting a relationship in most cases it's going to be harder to get access to her body if it's a relationship, if that's what she wants, and he's not willing to give it to her. You see what I'm talking about? You understand what I'm saying? So once you realize that, like, listen, a man has a boundary. Once he realizes that he has to go above and beyond that boundary of how hard he has to work, he's not going to entertain you anymore. Right? Men are bargain hunters. They want the largest return on their investment. They want to be able to invest the least amount of time, energy, money possible to be able to have access to you. And he even said it too. He literally said, he was like, you want to know what? I realized that I should have inconvenienced myself because you don't ask much of me, because you don't require much of me, which is the reason why because when he told me that he wasn't willing to inconvenience himself, I just said, you want to know what? I'm done. It's fine. It's no big deal. Because it legit wasn't a big deal to me. It legit wasn't a big deal to me. If you don't want to drive 25 minutes to come see me, that's perfectly fine. But you're not going to find a woman that's out here that's going to be sitting here like, oh yeah, it's okay. I will sleep with you willy-nilly with no emotions, and I'm not going to have any expectation for you as far as commitment and as far as being serious. You're not going to find that. That's the reason why he circled the block. That's the reason why he spun the block on me. Because he realized that in order for him to have access to a woman, in most cases, a woman is going to have a relationship. I just so happen not to want one. And also, number two, I don't live there. So he doesn't have regular access to my body. Over, like, I think a whole entire calendar year, I think I ended up sleeping with this guy like 4 times within a whole entire calendar year, because I'm not there. So it ain't like he got regular access anyway to even for me to even be available. So if you can only have access to me at a certain given time and you don't want to inconvenience yourself, I don't give a fuck. I'm not there. It's not going to make a difference to me. So because a lot of women will take stuff like that personal and think like, he doesn't like me or he's not interested in me. It has nothing to do with that. Either the man is going to either it exceeds his boundaries or it doesn't. It's really that simple. Because men are not ever going to break men don't ever break their own rules for women. Women always break their rules for men. Women will bend, women will compromise. They will twist and contort themselves in all different types of ways. Once something just rubs against a man's boundaries, he's shutting it down. He's walking away. Thank you. Oh my God, hella quick, click this video because my ex had strong boundaries and was not willing to break them for me, even though he loved me. So I broke it off. I ain't mad at him. That's just him. Exactly. As women, you gotta quit taking this stuff personal. You gotta quit taking this stuff personal and you gotta meet these men with the same exact energy. Men don't fear you not being in their life anymore if it's at the expense of their boundaries. Like the way that men are looking at it is it's either a woman or me betraying myself, because that's how much, that's the reason why men care so much about quote unquote respect. Because when it comes to a man's boundaries and when it comes to the rules that a man has for himself, he respects his own rules. He respects his own boundaries. So as soon as you come in and you want him to go against those rules that he has set for himself, nope. They're not going to honor what it is that you have to say because they're not going to betray themselves. Women need to start having the same energy. Quit having this idea that, well, if the right man comes along, then I'll have a child. Either you want a child or you don't want a child. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. In my opinion, you're not all that strong-minded if all it takes is a person to present themselves a certain way for you to be able to change your mind. In my opinion, I don't take somebody strong-minded to think like that. You either want it or you don't want it. It's really that simple because that's how men are. And the thing about it is that men will live their whole entire lives believing that they have access to that and that they can keep that thing. Like, men don't care. Men will literally just dispose woman after woman after woman after woman. Women are so afraid to dispose of a man. Like, they'll just hold on to what they have. They'll just hold on to the one man that they have as if it's like you can't find another person, like you can't deal with another man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that way you don't have it in your brain of like, oh yeah, something must be wrong with me, or like that woman must be better than me. Has nothing to do with that at all. And a lot of it is within the ego, right? When men set a boundary, men want to maintain control and they want to protect their self-image. Women do not have any sense of pride or ego to protect in the first place. Like, women don't ever have it in their mind of like, I'm never going to become a sucker, or I'm never going to look stupid for a man, or I'm never going to let a man play me. Like, those affirmations, those don't go through women's head at all. At all. Like, women don't even think women don't even think them looking stupid or them getting played or them getting manipulated. A lot of women don't even think that that's something on the line to even think about. Whereas men are actively aware of this. So that's why they're very protective of it, because men understand there is a risk that I might get played, that I might get manipulated, that I might get used. And so men are always actively thinking, I got to be one step ahead of this, because men are very strategic. Women have no strategy when dealing with men, because men look at relationships as a game. Men are over here sizing you up to make sure that they win the game. They're making sure that they get over all the obstacles needed to win the game. Meanwhile, you're over here looking for a genuine connection. You can't win against somebody that's playing this as a game, and you're here to actually have an experience with this person and connect with this person. You're going to come out on the losing side every single time because you have no strategy in place. So, like, when men don't want you to nag them, when men don't want you to question them, when men don't want you to bring up the past, all of that stuff is rooted in ego, right? All of that stuff is going to be rooted in ego, because they have all these boundaries in their head that's like, no, I'm a man, and I have my ego rooted in the fact that, like, I'm the boss. Like, I don't need you questioning me. Like, I should be free to do whatever it is that I want. And there are women out here that's like, okay, I'm going to get on this program then, right? I'm going to get on this program and I'm going to do what he's telling me to do. That way I can keep him here. Like, not even once questioning, like, if does any of this make sense? Is this actually something that I want to do? And another thing too, men's level of discomfort in a relationship is low. Okay? The discomfort level is extremely low for men in a relationship. And we've all been through this. Like, one thing that kept me single, whenever I would like be in these relationships with men, I'm like, oh my God, we only had like one small thing. And like it's like the man, I'm like, damn, like I feel like he's like really seeing this as like a huge, like a big deal. Like, it's something that I feel like he's taking really, really seriously. Whereas the way that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't really see this as a big deal. I don't really see this as an issue that should even be like blown out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? But the man will be like, I feel like the man will like actually like legit and truly fucking like feel some way. Like, this is the reason why like they say like men are 7 times more likely to leave a woman when she's diagnosed with a terminal illness, because that puts men in a high level of discomfort that they're not comfortable with. They're not comfortable with that level of discomfort. So these men are just like, you want to know what? I don't want to put myself in a predicament to be uncomfortable. So I'm just going to leave the relationship. Women have a high level of discomfort, a extremely high level of discomfort, and this benefits men greatly. This is why like staying through cheating, staying through like being disrespected or lack of support or emotional absence, women will see that stuff through, because the level of boundaries that women have are so low when it comes to their discomfort. Me personally, I'm just like a man. I don't want to be uncomfortable. As soon as something puts me in a state of discomfort with another person, I'm leaving the relationship. Like, as soon as my ex-boyfriend started talking about money problems, I'm like, my brain is already working. I'm like, if he doesn't reverse this shit quickly, I'm out of here, because I don't want to live a life of like being uncomfortable, having to constantly think about finances when I'm with another person. When I'm alone, I don't have to think about finances. I don't have to think about that being an issue. Like, I'm already 10 steps ahead of that even being an issue. So as soon as he was talking about, oh yeah, like the taxes and this, and I might be selling my business, and my brain is already headed towards the door, because I'm like, no, I would never have to worry about this if I was single and I was alone. I have no reward for dealing with the discomfort when someone's going through this situation, because like I in my brain, all of this stuff is preventable. And if you can't prevent it, I don't want to hear about it even being a struggle. It should be figured out and solved before it ever even becomes something that is acknowledged. And you should be able to mask it really well, in my opinion, or you should be able to talk to somebody else about it. That way you can get it off your chest before I even have to think about it. Because I personally was like, I have a low level of discomfort. I'm not sticking around through this. I'm not standing beside him. I'm not building him up or doing any of that stuff. No, that makes me highly uncomfortable. Mm-mm. Nope, I'm not built for adversity in a relationship. I'm not. As soon as things get hard, I'm leaving. Point blank period. This is the reason why when they have that statistic when they say like the men leave women, seven men are 7 times more likely to leave women when they're sick. Um this is the reason why I'm like, you want to know what? Although I get it, it's not fair. It's not fair. I already take care of people for a living. I'm sorry. I'm really really sorry. I would try to have enough fucking money and means where I could have myself be taken care of whether a man wanted to stay or not. I'm sorry. I'm not putting my health and someone taking care of me in the hands of another person. This is the reason why you're never going to gaslight me with that talking point of, well, who's going to take care of you when you're older? When it comes to, you deciding to be unmarried or you deciding to not have children, that doesn't scare me. That doesn't scare me because guess what? You came in the world alone. You're going to leave the world alone. If you're that weak, if you're that weak to the point that you don't know how to sustain yourself financially, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, that you have to have people around you to get through your like horrible, mundane, boring, awful life, then I'm sorry. Like your life fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Your life sucks. If you literally have a fear of you dying alone, that means that the life that you're living, you're not doing things right. Point blank period. It means that you're not doing things right because why is that even a rational fear? That's not a rational fear to me. Dying alone, so you know what day you're going to die alone. You know how you're going to die. You're going to have everyone in the car with you when you have a car accident. You're going to have everybody with you in the home when you have a heart attack. You have it all planned. You know exactly when all of this stuff is going to happen for you to plan all the people. You're going to handpick the people that you're going to choose to be with you while you're dying. No. Like when you really think that through, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's a highly irrational fear. And it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of to fearmonger women, to put them in a predicament where they feel like they would need to be obligated to get married and to be with and then to have children. Like, no, you're going to die in a hospital like everybody fucking else. And unless you have some type of chronic illness and you have do not resuscitate in your goddamn thing, or you have a debilitating disease where you're in hospice. And the thing about it is, and the thing that's so funny to me as someone that works in healthcare, depending on who your power of attorney is, depending on the person that you're giving, this thing over to you, there are people out here that have been on life support for like 7 years. Like they've just been in a comatose state. He's been in a comatose state because the person's like, I don't want this person to die ever. I don't want this person to ever leave me. It's a highly irrational fear. You don't have that much control over your life. You can't handpick how you're going to die, when you're going to die, and who's going to be there. Like, no, it's the stupidest thing. Exactly. We have to match energy. I don't take it personally if he leaves me and treats the next better. He's still the same XY he was with me. He's just masking better. The same damn character flaws. Exactly. This is why when women are like, I'm afraid to leave him because he's going to treat the next woman better. He's not going to treat the next woman better. all he's going to do is give the next woman the things that he didn't give you because you fucking stayed when he wasn't giving it to you. Like, that's the man's playbook. Every time you stick around with a man and you stay with him despite him not giving you what you want, you're teaching him the things to do with the next woman. It's your fault that you're sticking around with a man that is not giving you the things that you want. You think that if you stay around longer and you stick around longer, it's going to make the man magically wake up and decide to start doing these things. What would be his incentive to start doing the things when you're still being with him and he's not doing the things? Please make that make sense. Please explain that to me. So you want to hold on to a man that's not giving you shit because you're afraid that he's going to go to a different woman and then not give her shit. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That literally makes no sense at all. Once again, a highly irrational fear. I've never feared that. I've never ever feared that. I've never feared like, oh yeah, like the Dusty that I'm with, like even if the man is quote unquote good, even if the man is quote unquote good, I've never in my brain had this thought of like, oh my God, I'm so afraid to lose this man because another woman is going to have him. Who cares? Who cares? How do you not have a life of your own that's so full where you would even fear that? Is it not other men in the world? Is it not other things to do in the world? Is it not other people to meet? Like, I've never cared about that. I've never cared about that. If anything, I'm going to be like, girl, he's going to spend money on you for probably a year, and then the money's going to dwindle down, or he's going to start cheating on you at XYZ. Like, every man has an expiration date. They're going to be good until the expiration date expires. All men have an expiration date by the time the milk spoils. Get what you got to get before the milk spoils and move on to the next person, or go choose to be single if you don't want to do that anymore. Like, it's really that simple. Shira says add with you at the end if he says he's not ready for a commitment with you. Exactly. And once again, you can't even take that personal, because once again, even the with you, it's not even because of you. Like, a lot of women here with you and are like, no, women will hear because of you. Oh, well, I don't want to have a commitment because of you. And it's like, no. If a man can go if a man can go up until 80 years old not caring about committing to someone, he's never going to commit to someone. It's really that simple. If he can have all of the perks that women give him without having to commit to someone, he's not going to commit to somebody. If he decides at 80 years old, you want to know what? I'm dying and I'm old and I want to have people around me at my funeral, and I want to have people around, and they decide at 80 years old they're going to marry somebody, the first person in front of them, the first person that is in front of them, that's who they're going to marry. Because they've been able to go all of their life without having to commit to somebody while still getting their needs met. So there's no incentive for them to commit to anyone when they're getting everything that they want without the commitment. That would be stupid to do. Why would I put myself on a leash? Why would I put myself on a leash when you're feeding me treats and you're letting me roam free and bite other people and dig holes in the ground and do whatever it is that I want to do? Why would I willingly ask for someone to put me on a leash? That's stupid. What would be the point of that? Literally no point. Like, women are way too compromising. Like, way too compromised. Men men are not going to like negotiate or compromise anything. Like it's going to be a deal breaker. Point blank period. It's going to be a deal breaker. Like the guy that I used to talk to, like the same guy that I was dealing with or whatever, he was telling me how like I know I mentioned this before, but he was telling me how like his therapist, he was like talking to his therapist, and his therapist was telling him like, you know, you need to like start looking for women that are like outside of your type, because like he has a specific type. Like he prefers women that are like lighter skin and women that like are petite or have like an athletic build. And he was telling me how his therapist was essentially telling him like, oh yeah, like you need to like deal with people that are kind of like outside of your type. And he literally told me, he was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. He was like, no, he was like, I want what I want. Like, I want the woman that I'm with to be like athletic. Like, I want her to look a certain way. He's like, I'm not going to compromise what my type is just to be able to be with someone. But then you have women over here that are like, oh, I got to get me a medium ugly. I got to get me a medium ugly guy. Right? I gotta get me a man that doesn't look like anything, or I gotta get me a blue collar worker, or this. I gotta get me a man that's overweight. Men are not making these concessions ever. Men will wait until their balls are deflated to finally give in on their boundaries. Men will give in once their dick stops working. Men will give in once they get diagnosed with like a chronic illness. That's when they decide that they'll give in to dealing with somebody that isn't their type, or when they're homeless, or when they don't have a car, or when they don't have a house. I mean, a man will compromise once he is at rock bottom, once it is his last resort. That's the day that a man is going to compromise. Meanwhile, women are compromising and they don't have any of those things to worry about. Like, women are going to compromise just to be able to compromise. For what? Like, you're not going to get a return on your investment of like breaking your boundary. I got that one guy out of here. He was annoying. Like, I hate it. I can't stand it when men agree with me and they just give dumb talking points. I can't stand it. Like, I absolutely can't stand it. Like, they'll agree with you and they'll give the dumbest talking points, like the dumbest talking points. It's like, oh my God, I don't care if you agree with me, if you like still sound stupid simultaneously. Thank you, Tia, for sending me money on Cash App. And also thank you, Roxy, for sending me money in the on my Cash App. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's why I just be blocking them. I mean, obviously, sometimes I go back and forth with them just because I'm in the mood and I don't mind entertaining a troll. But a lot of the time, they really do just want to fucking argue. Like, honestly, honestly. It's like telling the universe you're not sure of what you want and don't want it that badly anyway. And then we want to try as hard to become the version of ourselves to obtain what we want. No, 100%. You didn't miss the live. I mean, you missed what I talked about at the beginning, but you could start at the beginning or you could just stick around. I'll still be on here for like another hour. And 1,000%. That was my mistake this year, thinking it would yield me better results. If you're going to deal with them, don't compromise. 1,000%. Have men no need for love and to be truly seen and understood? No. No. The way that men look at it, their version of love that they're ever going to receive is the fact that they'll have someone be a servant to them. Men look at loving a woman is just them being present, not them being active, but just them being present. So, like, this is the reason why I made the last live stream talking about good men. Good men are just simply present men. They're not active men, right? So a good man, he gonna kiss you on your cheek before you go to work. He gonna ask you about your day. He's gonna help you, probably cook and help you clean and help you do the laundry. You know what I mean? He's gonna be nice to his children, but they're not going to be active in the point where they stimulate you on a deeper level, or like make you feel seen, or make you feel heard, or make you feel understood. A good man is just going to do the base level things. Even if you get a good man, the level of depth that women have is too deep for most men to ever be able to reach that level. This is why you'll hear women say, like, he didn't do anything wrong. He's not a bad person. He didn't do anything wrong, but I just didn't feel seen. I just felt like we were going through the motions. Like, I just felt like he's just checking off a box and he's just doing all the things that he knows that he has to do to be considered a good man. There's no humanization, right? There's no depth. There's no depth to the experience that you have with a good man, because it takes a lot of self-mastery and self-actualization for a man to get there. And it takes a lot of vulnerability and a lot of dismantling and a high level of discomfort for a man to get to that point. Most men are not going to do the work. Most men are not going to do the work to give you the experience that you're looking for as a woman. Exactly. Robotic ass humans. That's the best way to explain it. When you're dealing with a good man, you're literally dealing with a robot. You're dealing with a robot. They're going to, like I said, they're going to check off all of the things. They're going to check off all the things. Okay, it's time to kiss my wife goodbye, or it's time to say good morning. Time to kiss my wife goodbye. Time to text and check in with my wife and ask her how her day is going. Time to greet my wife from work. Time to talk about what we're going to cook for dinner and help her with the dishes and help her with cooking and take out the trash, play with the kids. And then it's time to have sex. Like, you're not going to feel that level of depth, because men just don't have it within them without doing a strenuous amount of work to be able to get to that point. So the romantic love that a lot of women think that these men are going to provide them, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a low level robot that's not going to be able to feel you on a humanized level. You're going to get everything that you would need, but you're not going to get anything that you desire. And that's the difference. Having sex is such a chore, especially when you don't want to have sex, girl. Mm-hmm. Why do we even need AI robots when we already have men? I mean, they're going to be just about the same. They're going to be just about the same thing. Especially if they train male AI robots with the same socialization that males would have, it's going to be the same exact thing. And I mean, personally, I don't really see anything wrong with escaping into like a book, you know what I mean? And you have a character and the character is being romantic. Like, I personally don't see anything, you know what I mean, wrong with that, as long as you don't obviously translate it over into it being a possibility in the real world in regards to a man. But yeah, most of the interactions that I have with men is just kind of like, it's just not stimulating on a deep level where I can walk away from the interaction and actually like reminisce. You know what I mean? Like I've never had an interaction with the man. Like honestly, I kid you not. Aside from sleeping with men, that's the only time. That's the only time. The only time that I can actually reminisce dealing with them is just if I'm sleeping with them. Aside from that, no, there really is no high level of intellect or high level of interest that I feel like I've ever had a conversation with a man where I was able to like reminisce and have it like actually be thought provoking. It's usually women that you're able to have those type of like discussions with. Which is another reason why I feel as though like I have an unpopular opinion. Maybe I should make a live stream in regards to this. Oh, and also I'll be back uploading short form content. I feel like I've lost like a decent amount of subscribers because this month I put out like 98% live streams and I didn't really put out a whole lot of short form content. So I feel like that's why I was losing subscribers. But I did want to take a month just to only focus on live streams because like obviously I'm testing my metrics and I'm trying to play around because I hadn't been consistent on live streams like since I was finally able to get back consistent like in October, and this was kind of like a full month for live streams. So I'll be back posting the short form content again. But yeah, I just wanted to make that known because I feel like I was losing a decent amount of subscribers, and I kind of feel as though that's why because I haven't posted anything short form. Um, I did a live stream. I don't know if anyone on TikTok, if anyone uses TikTok, but there's a content creator, Jules, Joules. Her and I did a live stream on TikTok on Sunday. I have to ask her if she will consent to allowing me to upload it here to YouTube. I'll upload it in the membership tier, the second tier of the membership tier, if she consents for me to post it. And we had a really, really good live stream discussion about sleeping with men and how essentially like she just ended a relationship and literally really she ended an engagement because she was engaged. She said the only thing that she was reminiscent of from the relationship was just sex. Honestly. And I primarily believe that that's because sex is the only time that men actually show that they can be quote unquote deep. It's really the only time that you can see them be like passionate. You can only see it in the bedroom. You can't see them be passionate in any other area and it like feels the same way. Honestly. Most people don't like long form content. I mean, you are so funny. You said deep inside you, but you have a lot of energy that's being exchanged when you're sleeping with somebody. You have a lot of energy being exchanged. So when you have men like on the outside and you're just dealing with them on that external level, you don't get much energy from men in that exchange, just your day-to-day exchange, because men don't have any life force. Like they can't grow a whole baby inside of them. Okay. Like that already tells you that they don't have what they need to create life. They don't. They assist in the process. But to be a woman, that means you already have what is needed to get a whole baby growing inside of you. So that already lets you know that there's like a large abundance of energy as a woman that you harness. And so they can harness that energy from you like at will without you having to sleep with them. And so that will be heightened even more for them when you sleep with them. The only time you're going to be able to get that from a man is when you're sleeping with them. So that's why when we were talking about like her ending things off with her fiance, and she was like, I don't want you to talk about, she's like, I don't want you to talk about like sleeping around with men and stuff like that. Cause she was like, then I'll get to thinking about him and then I'll want to contact him. And she literally told me, she said the only thing that she misses really from that situation with him was just sleeping with men. Like she said that that's the only times that she looks back on. And me personally, those are the only times that I think of too, because usually in the bedroom, that's the only time. That's really the only time that you can actually really feel them be passionate, unfortunately. And that's if you're lucky. That's if you're lucky. Because sometimes you're barely going to be able to get that out of them, depending on what men you deal with. Some men are going to have you turn over and be done in 5 minutes. I don't mean to laugh, but we've all been there. Okay. We've all been there. And then you got to pretend that everything's okay. So that way you don't hurt his ego. You know, you're like, no, it's okay. Meanwhile, in your head, you're like, that was the worst D I've ever had. I can't believe he only lasted 2 minutes and it was a shrimp. And then you're like, God, now I got to go run and tell the group chat. Got to go run and tell the group chat how this guy only lasted 2 minutes. 2 minutes in the bedroom. I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh to hide away from the pain. The pain of being given 20 pumps and it being done. Like some of them men be finishing before you can even process what's happening. Like you're over here just now processing what's happening and it's already ended. You're over here like, oh, sex is happening. Oh, I guess sex is over. I'm a lesbian, so what do straight women do when guys finish too fast? Um usually what women will do, you're going to stare off into space because you don't want to look at him at that point because it's going to be uncomfortable for the both of you. So you just stare off into space and you like try to make it seem as if you don't care. And then usually what's going to happen is the man's going to like make a noise or like just usually they're going to make a noise where it's like an awkward type of noise and you could tell that it's a noise where they feel kind of bad, and then they actually may verbally say like it's been so long, you know what I mean, or I'm so sorry, like it's been a while, like I got excited. Like they're going to give some justification as to why they finished in 2 minutes. And yeah, if you and then after that, I mean, usually I leave. Thankfully that's only happened I would say twice in my life, but that's usually how it goes. The weird silence and the weird like staring off into the distance, and then I'm trying to think of exactly what noise they make. Let me think. I don't know, but I feel like they make a noise and then they go, ugh. You know, that's what they do. They go, ugh. They go, ugh. And yeah. And they come up with some excuse and then you go on about your day. Usually, the men that I've dealt with, they've all said sorry. I mean, they've all said sorry, but I don't care about your sorry. I didn't get off. You could save that sorry for someone else. Honestly. She said, "You're so lucky these condoms didn't break." Hallelujah. She said, "Queen, you are lucky those condoms didn't break." I know, right? I know, right? But most of the time, if a man cares about his ego enough, like if he doesn't want to embarrass himself, he's not going to want to finish fast. Like a man that's finishing fast in the bedroom, I know he doesn't give a fuck at all about anything. He definitely does. He's not going to do anything for you. If he's willing to finish fast in the bedroom, chow, he not going to be able to do nothing for you if he's finishing fast in the bedroom, cuz even if you're a man and you ain't got no money and you ain't got nothing going for you, a man that ain't got nothing is going to at least make sure that he can put it down in the bathroom, in the bedroom. He is going to make sure that he could put it down in the bedroom if he doesn't have anything else. So when a man just doesn't give a fuck and just is out here finishing in 2 minutes, listen. Listen, don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time. You said he gonna do that too. Yeah, oh my God, don't ever listen, don't ever believe these men when they're like, "It's because you were so tight, it's because you were so wet," and yada, yada, yada. Do not ever believe these men when they tell you that. It's not because that's not true. It's not because that's not true. It's the fact that they don't want to admit the fact that they don't have the mental stamina to survive in the punani. That's what it really is. Because it's mental. It is, it's mental. I've dealt with enough men to know that it is 1000% mental control that you have to have as a man to extend the life of your stamina in the bedroom. You have to think about something else outside of what you're doing. So, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's the fact that mentally they're weak and they don't want to put themselves in a predicament where they have to make things last longer for your pleasure. A man that doesn't last long in the bedroom, bye. You don't care. You literally don't care. You don't want to sit here and sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in your head because you don't care about me finishing and having a good time. Get out of here. Get out of here. 1000% lazy lovers and extremely selfish. Extremely selfish. That's why I said if a man can't do anything for you, if it's actually something that's in it for him, he at least gonna make sure that he puts it down in the bedroom. But I'm celibate. I'm celibate. I feel like the devil's trying to test me with this guy spending the block with me. And yeah. Like mm-mm. Putting it down in the bathroom. Definitely a Freudian slip. Definitely a Freudian slip. I don't know why I said putting it down in the bathroom. An ex younger than me was confused why I was questioning him at the same time, why he was lasting because I was insecure about my poom poom. He said, "No, you're fine. LOL. Am I not supposed to last?" Yeah, no. It's 1000% based off of what they're thinking about. If they're only thinking about getting to the finish line, they're going to hit the finish line super fast. If they actually care about the experience that you're having, they're going to think about other things. And then if they really care, they're going to ask you for permission for them to finish. Like the guy that I was dealing with, the one that's trying to spin the block, he would straight up ask me, he's like, "Is it okay? Like, am I able to like finish?" I never met a straight woman that said she spun the block and she didn't regret it. That facts, 1000%, 1000%. And I told him straight up, I'm like, dude, I'm celibate. I'm celibate. All right. So yeah. And of course he's like, "I want us to still talk." You know what I mean? He's like, "I want us to still talk." I'm like, "Okay, we can still talk, but like literally nothing else is gonna happen." I'm not breaking my celibacy. I'm just not doing it. It's too risky. Even even despite, I mean, despite before the situation that I talked about earlier, I mean, despite all the experiences being good prior to that, no, I don't want a physical tie to somebody. I don't want a spiritual or physical tie to somebody. It feels so good not having to, it feels so good not having to have a tie to someone in any way. Mm-mm. Oh my God, I developed hypothyroidism after a 2-year relationship with a man when I was 21. Since then, I have been on medication for life. Oh my God, that's terrible. And another thing too was that like after I would sleep with him, like he every time we talk, he always tells me he's stressed every time. Like, I kid you not, every time he tells me that he's stressed. And I literally messaged him and I was like, "Is there ever going to be a time that I talk to you and you're not stressed?" Like, I literally texted him that. I'm like, "I feel like every single time we talk, you're always talking about how stressed you are." And he's like, "It's because of the profession that I am in." And he's like, "But like, I just do my best." You know how men are. They're not going to go and get all vulnerable. Of course, he just like passed it off as nothing. And he's like, "Yes, I'm always stressed." But he's like, "It's because of the profession that I'm in." And he's like, "I just do my best to try to, deal with my stress the best way that I can." The typical shit men say, taking it one day at a time, doing my best, all that stuff or whatever. But then I would kind of feel like, oh my God, like after I would sleep with him, and I told him, I said after I would sleep with you, I would get stressed. And I told him, I said, I feel like when we would sleep together, despite like it being good, we would have a good time in the bedroom. I told him, I said, I would feel like I was stressed out after. And I was like, I feel like that, I feel like you was giving me your stress. I told him straight up. I was like, I felt like you was putting your stress onto me and I didn't like that feeling. And yeah, because he's a big old ball of stress. Do you guys want me to talk about Danish deception now? Because hold on. I gotta my TikTok for you page. Oh my God, hold on. My For You page has been giving me so many funny things. Hold on. I hope I saved it. Did I save it? Yes. Hold on. No. Hold on, let me see if I could change this. Let me see. This was so fun. It says me after I scam you for 300K. It said me after I scam you for 300K. I was dying. I was fucking dying. Oh, I was hollering. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Danish deception. All right. So, okay, first of all, she was on The Bachelor. She was a contestant on The Bachelor, okay? And the funny thing about people that are, if you ever studied, like, if you've ever done research into how they get people on reality TV shows and stuff like that, they look for people that have the dark triad. The dark triad is narcissism, Machiavellianism, and hold on, let me look up what the third one is because I can't remember by heart. Narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. They literally do a psychoanalysis of people that are on they do a psychoanalysis of people to get them on these reality TV shows because they know that people that have the dark triad, it makes for really good reality TV show because they can be very, very polarizing people. So as soon as she said that she was a contestant on The Bachelor, I already knew that, like, something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already kind of knew like how she was going to be as a person. Okay. There's no way that you can't tell me that a man told you that he was an Olympic gold medalist and he was a part of the royal family and you never fucking Googled that. So I think across multiple people, he scammed, I think, everyone for 300K. I think specifically he scammed Onyeka for 30K. But I think across everyone, like his friends, Onyeka, her family, friends, I think across everybody, it was 300K. So anyway, you cannot tell me that you would have never Googled someone saying that they were an Olympic gold medalist and a royal family, because obviously she was showing him off for her social media. If you were going to show your boyfriend, your white boyfriend, off on social media, and it was also rumored that she was submitting their stuff on Instagram to swirling websites, like swirling pages, you mean to tell me you're not going to brag to your friends, like, and show them, like, oh yeah, look, he's a gold medalist, and like, oh look, like he's an Olympian and he's a part of the royal family? Obviously, you looked that shit up and you saw that he was not any of those things, and you were like, you want to know what? He's a white man. He's a white man, so I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna keep this white man. I'm sorry, but like, because she lives in Dallas, and the thing about it is that everybody on TikTok. I grew up in Indiana, and I grew up in Gary, but then we ended up moving to like a predominantly white neighborhood. And so like I know what it's like. I kind of, you pick up on the mannerisms of white people. And it was so funny because someone in the comment section that said the braids behind the ears was all I needed to know, because it's like usually like my palm colored folks. Also, this is nothing against anyone that, you know, is palm colored, but we have to talk about race in this. Like, race is a very important thing in this because it really does show you that when women want to like divest and when women want to deal with other races, like, let me give a little disclaimer, okay? I'm not saying that you should only date within your race. Actually, I discourage women from dating solely within their race. I think you should date all of the different races as possible to date. That's the first thing. Okay. But the second thing to remember is that most men are average, okay, and white men make up more of the population. Like it's going to be more, it's more white people than it is black people. So if you date outside your race, you have to understand the fact that if you date outside your race, you're still going to be with an average white man, okay? Statistically, you may be dodging some bullets, obviously, like if you're not dealing with a black man, but that doesn't mean you're just getting a different set of bullets. You know what I mean? You're just going to be getting a different set of bullets no matter what race it is that you date. So I kind of feel as though, like, especially with her, like being Nigerian, because I don't know if y'all seen that video. I don't know if y'all seen that video of her on the she was on the golf cart with him. That girl, she said, and she would always do this thing with her lips. She do that, and you know the reason why she's doing that is because she wants to make her lips look smaller, because she wants to be more adjacent to white people. So I do think that for her, she has like an identity issue, and especially with her being Nigerian and she is a dark-skinned woman, she definitely was putting him on a pedestal, and that's the reason why she didn't care about giving him any of her fucking money, because in her brain she was like, listen, I have a white man, even if I'm paying to have a white man. And she also was promoting that for her social media. So she was submitting to swirling pages, she was showing all of the vacations that they went on. Like she literally was really buying a man, because she was buying the vacations, keeping them on vacation. She literally paid for him to have a modeling shoot. She literally paid for him to have a modeling shoot because obviously she was promoting that for her social media, because in her brain, she's like, I want to prove to the world that I have a white man. I want to prove to everybody that I am with, that I can get me a white tee, a white tee. Oh, that's another one too. Oh my God, that's another one. I think I saved it. Let me see. If I didn't save it, I know that I have it in one of these threads. Hold on. Oh, here we go. If you're black, there's nothing for you. If you're white, there's something for you. So that was her anthem, baby. That was her anthem. Because yeah, like, no, I highly doubt there would ever be a black man that could be talking in her face and she would have even given him fucking 3 cents, let alone $30,000 of her own money. And then the thing about it is that it wasn't even only $30,000 of her own money, it was also her family's money too, because his mom or her mom ended up giving him like $10,000. And then mind you, she gave this man all of this money just for him to leave her. Just for him to leave her. And I guess a lot of people are also saying that like she is kind of doing this as like a cry for help, because I guess there's like a rule where if you marry someone and they get a visa or like a green card through the marriage, if you end up getting a divorce from the person, there's like a rule that you're financially responsible for them for 10 years. So people are also saying that her coming out, because they just got divorced. They literally just got divorced. I don't even think it's been 30 days since they got divorced, because I'm almost positive that she said that they got divorced this month. It was earlier this month that they ended up getting the divorce. So she hasn't let any time pass since all of this stuff has like even happened for her to go public talking about it. And yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, This guy was old. The man that she was dealing with, she tried to make it seem as if she was dealing with some model. This guy's old as fuck. Like, this guy on a minimum is like 40 years old. The thing about it is that, like, he doesn't only look 40, he looks like a rough 40. He looks like a rough 40. Like, you could just look at him, and you could just see, like, when she said that he had a gambling problem, when his pictures got exposed, I was like, you could look at him and you could tell that he has a gambling problem. Like, he has all of this stress. Like, he has all of this stress and like all of this like concentration, like up in this part. Like, you could tell. And then also number two, it's like, if he was a part of the royal family, he wouldn't be looking like that. He wouldn't be looking like that. You could tell in his face that he had an addiction problem to something. Like, honestly, I just kind of feel like by looking at him, you could tell something was. Someone earlier asked if this was my real hair, and if so, what's the hair care routine? Ciao. It's the leave-in Marc Anthony Grow Long. It's in a pink bottle. I use that for leave-in conditioner, and then I use what is the name? Ciao. What is the name? Camille Rose Curl Maker. And then the Extreme Gel, the one with the green top that has aloe in it, that's what I use for my gel. But yeah, you could tell that he looks old, beaten up, and tired. Like, he looks he looks terrible. Like, when I'm thinking in my head, it was going to be some like 30 something. Because that's the thing too, that man was old. That would have been even more of a red flag. I could see a young dude asking for some money. Not that I would give it, but I could understand someone on the younger side asking for money. You could clearly tell that this man is old. Why is there an old Olympian in the royal family asking you for money? He ain't got his money together. Because the way she made it sound like, because she said Calvin Klein model. These were her words. She said 6'4", blonde hair, light eyes, Calvin Klein model. She said that. So when she said Calvin Klein, I'm thinking like Marky Mark. You know what I mean? I'm thinking Marky Mark. I'm thinking, like, obviously Marky Mark has dark hair and dark eyes, but I'm thinking someone that's looking youthful. I'm thinking someone that's young. So when she said that, I was like, compared to what you were trying to compared to like how you were explaining it, and then I see this man, I'm like, okay, that's way older than what I was picturing in my head. I was over here thinking about like a 30-year-old. I was thinking about a 30-year-old. So when I seen him, I was like, that's not a Calvin Klein model. He's too old to be a Calvin Klein model. Because in a regular spectrum, of course, I'm thinking old is like 60. I'm thinking the same thing, but child, honestly, she met her match. He was using her for money. He was using her for money. She was using him for clout. Point blank, period. That's really what it was. And she got to the point where she was like, I don't want to keep paying for a boyfriend. I don't want to keep paying for a husband and paying to show that I have a YT. So I'm done. I'm gonna, because the thing about it was that the only reason why he left her was simply because she caught on to him. And it was just simply because he was lying, saying that he paid her mother back. And then she asked her mom if she had ever received the $10,000 that he owed her. And her mom said no, but she was questioning it because her husband had sent her a screenshot, because obviously he's Danish. And so he had like a money transfer app that you would have like for being Danish, right? So she didn't understand the app. So she went on his phone. She got into his phone and she saw that you can schedule a payment. So what he did was he went in and he scheduled the payment to her mom and then put in $10,000 for the scheduled payment. And then he ended up clipping the part of the screenshot where it said that it was a scheduled payment. So it looked as if her mom had received the $10,000. Once she realized that that's what he had did, she called him out on it. And then that's when he was like, I have to end this. Like, I'm ending this now. Well, yeah, because he realized like, you can't lie about anything now. There's nothing more that you can do. You're not going to be able to get any money out of her at this point, because it's truly been exposed what you're doing. You don't. And then she realized that he only had 34 cents. Here, I'll show you how he looks. He only had 34 cents in his account, y'all. He told her that she was a million. He told her that he was a millionaire. She checked his bank account. He had 34 cents in his bank account, y'all. Hold on. Wait. Dang, the video is unavailable. It's got to be another video. All I got to do is type in Danish Deception Martin. It'll come up. Hold on. Because that's supposedly his name, Martin. He probably lying about that too. Okay. That's him. See, look at her chin. Look at her with her. It needs to focus. Okay, that's just someone that stitched, but yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to see. Look at him walking. He's like, I'm here to take your money. Look at him. Look at him. He's like, I done come up. He just cheesing. He just smiling ear to ear. Does that look like a Calvin Klein model to you? Does that look like this gorgeous 6'4" with 6'4" man with blonde hair and light eyes and like what? Dating, it's not. At least she got to travel and got paid for it. No, she didn't. She paid 30 fucking $1,000 and paid for every trip that they went on. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This woman got scammed for 30 fucking $1,000. This man is a gambler that has an addiction problem. She literally got scammed and paid for every fucking trip that they went on. She literally was paying for every trip. That way she could promote it for her Instagram. What? This person must not know the story of what happened. But yeah, she got scammed for 30K. So I think it was across everybody, like, because remember she had the story of like Crypto's wife, her mom, her father. I think with everyone total, he scammed for $300,000. I don't think it was just her, because I watched every part and she said that she got scammed for $30,000. She said that she owed Crypto $200,000. He scammed her mom for $10,000. No, the trips weren't sponsored. No, none of those trips were sponsored. She literally paid for all of those trips. She even made a video talking about the fact of the reason why she was going on so many trips was because her husband, like the money was like starting to like funnel in, and so they were able to like get some stability. So as soon as the money started coming in, they had a little bit more money at their disposal, but it wasn't their money, it was her fucking money. She was funding her own trips. So anytime he would buy her something, he would be buying her stuff with the money that she was giving him. It was never his money, it was her money the whole entire time. It is not that easy for your trips to get funded. Trust me. It's not that easy for your trips to get funded. She paid for every single thing that they did. All of the money that he paid her back, because I think she said that he gave her like $9,000. The $9,000 that he ended up giving her, it was just paying her back. It was never money that he actually made on his own and then gave to her. He just simply gave her $9,000 of her money back. Yeah, and I can't believe, and the thing about it is that they were seeing that Crypto and them were seeing them go on these freaking trips. They were seeing them go on these freaking trips. And then the worst part about it was that they were on a payment plan. The only reason why her husband was on a payment plan was because she was the one that initiated it. So this man would have never paid these people back had she not been the one to initiate it. So she's got them on a payment plan to repay $200,000 while they're going on trips. And they went on a lot of trips. They went on a lot of trips. I think they traveled to like 10 different places. Literally everything that he spent money on was not his own money. It was all funded from the money that she gave him. So even him spending the money, it was never his money. It was always her money. The only thing that he spent money on, based off of what she said, was like the $200 Dolce and Gabbana shades that he bought her when they first ended up meeting. I think based off of what she told me, I believe that that's the only thing that he spent money on of his own. Like, I can't believe that she paid for them to have like a modeling thing. Like, that was another thing. She said in the video, he said, I could get used to this. I'm sure he could. I'm sure you could get used to this. Okay, hold on. He probably lifted those glasses. I'm hollering. I need to catfish and scam me a Nigerian black woman. Oh, this was another thing too. Get this. This was the real gag. Okay. This was the real gag. So when it came out that he had this gambling addiction and it came out that he was scamming everybody, and then she realized that, like, He scammed crypto, and like everyone else, like in their circle, they knew that her husband was scamming people. And so when she asked them, like, okay, if all of y'all knew that he was scamming people, how come none of you all told me? They told her, they said, this is what she said that they said. They said, Onyeka, you're Nigerian. And she was like, what are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? And they were like, oh, Onyeka, you're Nigerian. That's like the scamming capital of the world. We assumed that you were scamming with Talk about a Uno reverse and stereotype. She thought she thought she had to come up because she got a white man. And meanwhile, everyone in her circle thought that they were scamming together because she was Nigerian. They assumed she was in on it because she was Nigerian. That was the gag. That was the fucking gag. That was the gag. They was like, you want to know what? They must be doing this together because she's Nigerian. It's 1000% valid. I'm not gonna lie, it's 1000% valid. Y'all remember when I first started this channel and someone had made a profile and they made the same at as me, and they kept commenting on my post talking about you could find the Lord or Jesus, and they wanted people to reach out to WhatsApp. The first thing I said when they made that fake page, I was like, child, that's somebody in Nigeria. That was the first thing I told myself. I said, some Nigerian done got a hold of this content and they over here trying to figure out how they could make some money off of my content. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, it's one of them damn Nigerians. Every time I get one of them text messages, you owe money on the toll road. You owe the IRS money. Every single time I get one of them text messages, I'm like, yep, it's a Nigerian. It's a Nigerian. Them WhatsApp messages, I already know. I already know. That's the first place my brain is going. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, they're over here on the computer eating their foo-foo, trying to scam somebody. They stay scared. And literally, I watched a whole documentary over it. I watched a whole documentary over like their scamming process in Nigeria. And the thing about it is that they're actually they're incentivized to scam. The way that the government is ran there in Nigeria, they're incentivized to scam. That's why the scamming is so prevalent there. Because of how their government is ran. I think it's like so I think like their government is like privatized. Their government is only privatized to like a certain amount of people. So there's like no government jobs in Nigeria. Like there's no agencies where you can get a job in Nigeria and it's going to be able to serve the public because it's so privatized. So people don't have like an actual job that's outsourced to be able to go to like how we would here because of the way that our government is set up. And so that's why they're constantly scamming because like they legit don't have like a job to go to or to apply to because it's so privatized there in Nigeria. And so that's why they're constantly scamming people. I'm telling you, there's like a whole documentary on it because I'm telling you, I was like, I would be so curious. I'm like, why are they always scamming? What's happening in Nigeria? What's happening in Nigeria where they have to scam people? And that's why. That's why. It's because the Nigerian government is terrible. In like a place like Dubai, oh my god, so a place like Dubai, they do the opposite. They do the exact opposite. So even though they have things that are privatized, even though they have things that are privatized there, they keep the sector open where people can openly be able to get jobs, and like it's nothing but slaves there in Dubai. It's nothing but slaves there in Dubai because a lot of people come from like Africa and they go over to the UAE because they can't find work in places like Nigeria because there's a lot of Africans that live in the UAE, and it's because they can't get a job in Africa because the government's so corrupt there. So like all of Dubai, like a lot of the employees there are slaves in Dubai. I didn't know Vivica A. Fox was still talking about 50 Cent. I can't believe she still talks about him after decades. Like, girl, move on. Like, damn, that really was the peak. That must have been the peak of her. That must have been the peak of her like time with men because, dude, 50 Cent, like, chow, chow. Oh my God, did you guys hear about Todd and Candy and how they're divorcing? Have y'all been on TikTok? Y'all, TikTok is feeding me the Todd and Candy archives of them in a relationship. Oh my God, Todd was embarrassing the fuck out of. Listen, I never liked Todd. I never liked Todd. I cannot stand his ass. But if you go on TikTok and you can just type in Todd and Candy Burris, all of these videos that they were doing together, oh my, you could see exactly what type of person that he was. Girl, I don't feel bad for Candy. Candy don't give a fuck. Candy does not care that they're divorcing because she's the one that filed for divorce. Candy had already had a prenup in place. Now, I don't know how the laws go in Georgia because I do know that the laws get a little bit weird after you've been married for 10 years and they were married for 11 years upon divorcing. So I don't know how that's going to impact the prenup. But honestly, I don't think Candy cares. Honestly, I don't really think Candy cares at all. I think Candy's not stupid. I think Candy just wanted to experience a marriage, experience having a family. And I kind of feel like Candy was going to ride the wave until she didn't feel like riding the wave anymore. Like, me personally, I don't really think Candy cares, but her mother was right all along. Her mother was right all along. Cause Candy already know that she married down. That's why she made sure that she had a prenup in place. So she already knew that she was marrying down. So that's why she made sure that she kept her assets and her money protected because I mean, Candy makes a lot of money. Like she's making hella royalties from her writing credits and all of that stuff. Like I've seen the video where she showed all her like plaques and all that stuff and like she's making a shit ton of money. So she already knew that she had something to protect by marrying Todd in the first place because she knew that he was not touching her as far as success or as far as income. She knew what the fuck she was doing. Yeah, Mama Joyce definitely knew. Mama Joyce definitely knew, but I just kind of feel like Candy was like, I want to get married. I want to see what it's all about. I'm going to protect myself and do what I got to do. And when it's time for me to leave, I'm just going to leave. I legit don't think Candy cares. Like he literally said, let me see if I can find it. In one of the videos, he said that he felt like women that are with men, the man should be entitled to the wife's money. He did. He literally said that. Let me see if I can find it. Cause oh my god, my For You page, out of nowhere, my For You page just started feeding me this stuff. And I didn't even know that they were divorced. I had no idea that she had filed for divorce. And I was like, why is my For You page spitting me this stuff about Todd and Candy? And then I looked in the comments and someone was talking about like they're divorcing, and then I looked it up. Hold on, do they have it all posted on here?
It's not, I'm gonna be real with y'all. For young women who are bosses and have all this money and got this extra shit. No, because I think, understand the double standard, but I think you also need to understand the man that you're with, the man that you chose, and you're allowed to choose you. That you can't be so mind. You know what I mean? You have to open up with a reason. I'm not saying going by no families and dumb shit, but you gotta invest in y'all future, and you gotta let your man feel like a man in those scenarios. Because with all the money that you have, you can't go by yourself. You know what I mean? Because
look at the makeup artist. Look at the makeup artist.
No, I'm just being honest as a man. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. As you continue to be like, it's mine. It's hard to hear someone say it's mine in a relationship that's supposed to be it's ours. Can I talk? And it's not a.
Hold on.
Hey.
Hold on. Oh, it won't let me save it. Then I mean I would have to freaking that mean I would have to screen record it and do all of that shit. But yeah, you heard what he said. He said, when you're saying when you're saying me, when it comes to like your money, like I want, you should be having a man feel like a man, essentially. So make me feel like a man and give me your money, please. Please give me your money. Like that's all I was hearing him say, essentially. I need to feel like a man. Please give me your money, please. I'm begging you. Oh my god. Even the makeup artist was like, what? The makeup artist was dumbfounded. The makeup artist was completely dumbfounded because what? What? Like the way of the makeup art. Oh, and then there was another one. First of all, he's always in the room when Candy's getting her makeup done. Every single time they shoot these videos, he's always in the room whenever she's getting her hair or her makeup done. So he does another video. He does another video where it's Candy and it's a different, this time it's a hairstylist. It's not this same lady that was doing her makeup. It was like this heavier set, light-skinned black woman. It's Candy getting her hair done by this hairstylist, and then Todd is in the room. Todd is in there talking about some, if you're going to cheat on your spouse, I believe that you should be cheating with somebody that they know. And then listen to this. The hairstylist says, yeah, I feel like it would be fair. She says, you wouldn't want me to sleep with Todd. You wouldn't want me to sleep with Todd. So the fucking hairstylist is over here co-signing what Todd is saying about sleeping with people that you fucking know. And the hairstylist is over here talking about some, why wouldn't, like, me and Todd know each other? Like if I had someone that I was with, I wouldn't want them sleeping with a stranger. I would want them to sleep with somebody that I know. See, that shit would have been checked. That shit, she would have been fired immediately. She would have been fired immediately. Nope. Because you no. And the thing about it is that obviously this is a sign that these conversations that like Candy and Todd have, obviously they have these conversations in the presence of a lot of people, and they must have a lot of obviously personal conversations that they don't keep personal. They keep them within other people because that's the only reason why that hairstylist would feel so comfortable to say some shit like that. Like, why do you feel so comfortable saying the fact that you're over here trying to convince me that it would be normal for you to sleep with my husband because y'all know each other? Like, what the fuck? And the thing about it is that Candy's so open. Like Candy had like a sex toy company or something like that at one point. Like Candy's always been very open about like her sexuality and stuff like that. Like I've loved that about Candy. She's very, very open with herself. And so I think with that boundaries, it probably wasn't no clear boundaries in place with like the people that were working with her. Cause yeah, that's the only reason why she would feel comfortable to say that. Because what? What? Oh my god, yes. Phaedra had a Dusty. Phaedra definitely had a Dusty. And I have thoughts about that too. I have thoughts about that too. I personally feel like the reason why Phaedra dealt with Apollo was because he was light skinned. But that's like my unpopular opinion because Apollo was dusty as fuck. Like, is Apollo black? Like, what is Apollo? What is his race? Because his last name is Nita. Okay, he's biracial. Yeah. The only the only reason the only listen, when a woman is really like when it's a very attractive man, he could be as dusty as he wants. If the woman finds the man highly attractive, the dustiness it erases the dustiness for a woman. Like honestly, like once a man is attractive enough, he's full of dust and like now he's in like a glass case. She's like, "Yes, I have my glass case of beautiful dustiness." Like so then they'll just let him get away with it. They'll just let him get away with fucking anything. Yeah, Apollo was a criminal. He's in prison right now. And what was Apollo like? What was Apollo even doing financially? Like, I know that he was like a criminal. I knew that he was a freaking criminal, but like, what was he doing financially while he was with Phaedra? Because, like, I know at Phaedra was like, she had she's an attorney, and then also it's the funeral business that she's in, right? Yeah, I think all he was doing was just being a career criminal. I think that's all that he was doing. Everyone said scamming. Y'all said all he was doing was scamming. He's over here getting inspiration from the Nigerians on how to scam people. Blue collar Dusty. Oh God. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, Portia was smart. Portia was like, listen, I'm marrying up, even if it is somebody else's man. She was like, I don't care. She was like, I don't care. She said, I'm getting me some of this Nigerian money, okay? Oh my God. I always thought Peter was gay. Peter was Cynthia's husband, right? Well, ex-husband. I always thought Peter was gay. Honestly, I feel like I don't know. There's something about how I view men that like marry models or like date models. I feel like a lot of men that marry models and date models, I think a lot of them are gay, if I'm being completely honest. Like I feel as though they go for a model because they're like, okay, a model is like a really good status symbol and like no one's going to question my sexuality if I get with a model. Like it's very safe. I love Portia, honestly. I love Portia. I don't really care what anyone says about Portia. I like her. I do. I like Portia. She learned the first. I look at it like this, okay? Old habits die hard. Okay, old habits died hard. After Portia had her first marriage and she saw how that first marriage went, she was like, I'm not going out sad. Mm-mm. I'm not going out sad ever again. I'm about to make sure that I'm on the winning side of the decision that I make if I ever decide to get into another marriage. And she did just that. She didn't care. She said, I will be clawing my way to the top to get on the winning side of dealing with somebody. I know a man who's dating a model right now. He said going down on a woman makes him want to throw up. Oh God. See, my theory is right. I'm sorry, but my theory is 1,000% right. Men that go for models, men that go for models, I'm sorry, I don't believe that they're straight. I don't believe that they're straight. Like that's crazy. Like vagina makes you want to throw up. That's insane. That's nuts. Oh my God. I didn't know Tyler Perry dated a model. You couldn't pay me enough to date Tyler Perry. I mean, not that I would ever have the option, not that I would ever want the option if we're being completely crystal clear. But chow, you couldn't pay me enough money to look at Tyler Perry in the face. I'm sorry, ain't no drug, ain't no amount of alcohol that would ever get me to be able to, like, no. Like Tyler Perry, it's clear as day. It's clear as day. Okay. I know he was skipping. I know he was skipping to them Medea roles. I know he was skipping to work every day to put on that damn dress and wig and makeup. He was happy as hell. He was like, I got to do more Medea movies. I can't get enough of this. I need more. That's why it's so many of them. Yes, I was gonna say the Boondocks episode. Everything in the Boondocks is true. Every single thing in the Boondocks is fucking true. And when that stuff came out about that guy, I was like, see, Tyler is a Capricorn ball. I didn't know he was a Capricorn. Oh my gosh. No. Oh no, you just made that up. He's not, but a Capricorn ball is funny. He's actually I think Virgo. Maybe no. He's either a Virgo or a Lee. I think he's a Virgo. Yeah, he's a Virgo. Like you could just tell Tyler Perry, yeah. Really? He had the episode banned allegedly? Get out. And it's so funny because I remember I had watched that Boondocks episode. I kid you not. I literally watched that Boondocks episode like a week before that story came out. I literally had just watched that Boondocks episode. I have not had any alcohol. I have not had any alcohol since May. No, I haven't had any alcohol since April. So it's been April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's been 7, almost 8 months since I had alcohol. And I kind of want to drink. I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to drink. Like a glass of wine would be so nice. But why do I want to drink is the question. Why do I want to drink? I don't even really think I had a reason to stop drinking. I just all of a sudden stopped. I just all of a sudden stopped. I didn't even really have any reason why. I just was like, I don't know. I'm just going to stop drinking. So I stopped. I'm having a Friendsgiving. I'm having a Friendsgiving. Maybe I'll drink during it. Um, I prefer red wine, but I'm not that picky when it comes to wine. As long as it's wine, I'll take what you got in front of me. My vacation coming up, but money is tight. I want to still get out the house and do stuff. I was thinking getting a tat or do a solo date in a nice part of town. What do you think, Queen? Yeah, honestly, honestly, ugh, I finally blocked that guy. I love it when these men, when I don't block them, and then they finally come back, and then I'm not in a good mood that day, and then I just end up blocking them that day. But I would go on just like a little solo date. I mean, you're only one person, so you don't have to really spend that much money to get out. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, you don't even, it's not really a Friendsgiving. It's literally just one other person. It's not friends, it's just one other person. It's a girl from my pole studio. So I literally only see her during pole, but like we both kind of have the same story, honestly, like coming here from Florida. So we were like, let's just cook some food and let's just chill for Thanksgiving. Like it's nothing crazy. It depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes when the girls are going back and forth with them, I don't block them right away. And then the thing about it is that the men won't come in regularly. They'll come in once in a blue moon. Like one time there was one guy, he hadn't said anything on here since like February. And he didn't comment back on here again until maybe like 3 weeks ago. So then I finally had the opportunity to block him because although he didn't say anything rude, he tried to scam me on Cash App. So like it wasn't like he said anything bad for me to want to get rid of him. So I didn't get rid of him. And then once he fucking tried to scam me over on Cash App, I ended up blocking his ass. I really don't want to, I honestly don't want to cook anything. Honestly, I don't want to cook anything. And honestly, it's like, do I want to spend Thanksgiving alone? I really don't give a fuck if I do. But it isn't like I'm not even gonna be like here much longer in this like area and in this space. So I'm like, you want to know what? It'll be a while before I see her anyway, before I come back here. So I was like, you want to know what? She's super, super cool. She's a cool girl. I was like, I will spend Thanksgiving with her. I can at least make one core memory before I leave here. Cause I'll be gone for a couple months. Aw, thank you. I appreciate you. I know. I couldn't. I was like, you're trying to scam me. So what he essentially would do, he would send money on Cash App and then he would go and like renege on sending the money. So when I would try to go in and get the money, I wouldn't be able to get it. It would say like, oh, money not accessible. Cause I guess he would like call it in essentially. I'm like, dude, what do you have to gain? Oh, that was loud. What do you have to gain on being a fake trick? Like, bruh. Yeah, like I swear to God, like these men are studying these Nigerians. They're like, oh my God, let me study these Nigerians and figure out how I can scam folks. Like, but God forgive but God forbid you want to scam a man when you ask him to pay for your coochie. God forbid you want to do that. That's not even scamming. Like that's a pure transaction. God forbid you want to do that. I was so happy when he commented. I was like, hallelujah. I was like, as soon as he commented, I blocked him immediately. I was like, mm-hmm. I see you. Mm-hmm. I see you. I see you. Okay. Boo-doo-doo-doo. That's not scamming. They are desperate for Kitty, anyways. Of course. I love your name, by the way. Britney Spears, 2007 Defender. I love that because I love me some Britney. I love me some Britney. But yeah, I don't listen. I want it drama free over here. Okay. I want it drama free over here. I'm not trying to have it be any BS over here. I saw you in the gas station, Ninja. So did the clerks and customers. WTF? Like, what can I do? What can I do with you telling me that you see me? Like what? Um I from my understanding, I don't think he's facing any charges. My favorite song is Radar. What album is Radar from? Hold on. What album? It's from Blackout. Yeah, it's Blackout. I had to look it up. Blackout is my favorite Britney Spears album. It's so underrated, but Blackout is like, it's my favorite. Blackout was so good. Blackout doesn't get enough attention for me. Why is it hard for men to give praise and attention to each other? Why do they have to come in and exploit it from women? Because they're afraid that they're afraid that they're gonna get called gay. You said be on the internet dancing, the police not involved. You would actually be shocked because it's like I started watching that show Love Con Revenge. Y'all gotta watch Love Con Revenge on Netflix. Oh my god. Go on Netflix and look at the show Love Con Revenge. The police, they're not a lot of these women, they're not going to protect you. They're not going to protect these women. They're not protecting them because the way that the law enforcement looks at it, you gave this money to your husband. You gave this money to your partner. So you willingly gave them the money. They're not looking at the fact that you might have been manipulated or gaslit or anything like that or coerced. They don't care about none of that. Once you've made that person your partner, they look at that as like you gave them, it's free reign. It's free reign because you made them your partner. So how can we hold them financially responsible when they're your partner? Like that's the level of entitlement that that law enforcement believes that men should have to your money and your body and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're welcome. Living peacefully and thriving and two guys from past circle back. I immediately thought of the nail and tire analogy you gave, and I think it's going to forever save me. So thank you. Yeah, girl, you're welcome. I love Give Me More. And it's so crazy because when you listen to Give Me More and you've listened to Carrie Hilson enough, the song sounds exactly like a Carrie Hilson song. Like the way it's written and the way that it's sang, you could totally tell it's a Carrie Hilson song. I'm hollering, but we going to call him gay or sassy for trying to act like the women in the relationship anyway. Might as well go their own way. Listen. And the thing about it is that they already perform for other men. It's like, no homo. Pause. Yeah, Carrie Hilson, she wrote Give Me More. She did. She wrote that song. Carrie Hilson really would have had a career still if she wouldn't have pissed Beyonce off. Like, that was crazy. That was crazy. I don't make the rules, but man, I don't make the rules, but it's like a universal rule. Like, you can't even hint at the fact. You can't even hint at the fact that you're coming after Beyonce. Okay? You can't even put a little sprinkle of doubt that you were ever talking about Beyonce. Like that was some crazy work. And you better thank Beyonce if you get an award. Oh my God, the montages, them thank you montages of people thanking Beyonce. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. Like allegedly, with that thing with Kanye West, remember when it was the VMAs, I think it was the VMAs, and Taylor Swift won the award, and then Kanye jumped up on the stage and said that Beyonce was the best. She had the best album of all time. Yeah, so I guess this is allegedly. Technically, allegedly Kanye did that out of protection for Taylor Swift because he didn't believe that Taylor Swift knew the rule that like if you beat out Beyonce like in something and if you like win an award as a musical artist that you're supposed to thank Beyonce. So I guess like allegedly Kanye West ended up doing that because like he didn't want her to not thank Beyonce, and then allegedly Beyonce go, make some things happen. Oh, that was so cringe, man. When Lil Mama got up on the stage, oh my God, that was so cringe. That was so cringe. I'm just naming one of the theories. There's a lot of theories that you could name from that situation. I'm just naming one. But everyone that wins an award thanks Beyonce. Okay, like Lizzo's thanked her, Adele's thanked her, Megan Thee Stallion's thanked her. Everyone's thanked her. Like, ain't nobody trying to get on Beyonce's bad side. Oh yeah, that ruined Lil Mama's career. Jay-Z was like, bitch, you're never gonna be heard from again. Jay-Z made sure her career vanished after that, baby. Lil Mama ain't get the memo about Jay-Z, child. Yeah, Jay-Z said, bitch, you're done. You're done. I love the Halloween. I literally stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning watching this new creator that they fed me here on YouTube. Now, he is pro Christianity in like a sense. It's not in your face. It's really not in your face, but he is kind of pro Christianity because essentially his name is called DD Got a Podcast. It's a black man. Dee got a podcast, and like he talks about a lot of the like occult things that like they do in the musical industry. And he did a really good one on Michael Jackson that I watched because, oh my God, I thought I was crazy. So, like, for once, someone gets it. You guys know that song "We Are the World" by Michael Jackson? I hate that song. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. No matter the positive like reception that that song is supposed to give you, I've always thought that that song was demonic. I've always thought that that song was demonic, despite how they're singing, despite the words that they're saying. I've always thought that there was something like dark behind that song. And like he like breaks down like there's like a pastor. Most of his stuff is from like pastors and priests, and like they break down the occultism behind like the music that they're doing. And I was watching one with Michael Jackson, and they were talking about like the rituals that he would do. They would talk about the three rituals that he would do to be able to like make the music that he was making. So like essentially he'll climb up this tree, allegedly, even though he admitted it himself, but he says that he climbs up this tree and like he talks to this tree, and like that's where he gets his influence from. And then he has a house full of mirrors. So he looks in this like room that he has in his place, like full of mirrors. And essentially, like when he's looking in the mirror, he's like channeling the entity for him to like get more inspiration. And then it's in his sleep. It's like in his dreams for him to like channel this energy. And I don't trust those church songs. I don't either. The guys, if you're into any of that music industry occult stuff, go watch DD. So D as in dog got a podcast. DD got a podcast. He does like a lot of content with that, talking about like the occult and things like that. And so essentially they were talking about like Michael Jackson's creative process. Like that's what his creative process was. And like he would do like a lot of like dark stuff to be able to make his money and to be able to like do all of this stuff with the songs. Because the music industry, like, oh my God, the music industry, I could like that's why I'm kind of tired today, because I stayed up so late watching that content. And honestly, after I get off of here, I'm probably gonna go back to watching it, if I could be completely honest. The music industry is like, I could spend hours and hours and hours watching all of the like occult and esoteric things that they do within the music industry. Because the thing about it is that, like, unlike the movie industry, music is something that you can listen to passively, and it's really something that can get ingrained in your subconscious a lot easier than a movie. Like a movie, you have to be present, and it's getting a lot harder. Like a large part of the reason why the movie quality is degrading is because everyone's attention span is degrading. So we can't sit through a 2-hour long movie like we used to be able to, unless you're real interested into the movie. So it's a lot harder to get into our subconscious through a movie. So they like are pushing really hard doing this with music. That's the reason why like these companies will buy streams. They'll have these industry plans that they push out onto us because it's a lot easier to do. That's the reason why the music industry, it's on a really high level of like the dark and sinister things that they will do, because it's easier to get out to the masses without you having to worry about being as present. Like, I don't listen to music in my house. I've always felt so weird about listening to music in my place. Like, I don't know what it is, but I have a very hard time listening to music inside of my place. I don't know what it is, but I've always grappled with listening to music in my place. I'll have bouts of listening to it in my place, but for the most part, if I'm doing anything around the house, I'm having like a TV show on or like some long form content from YouTube playing. I will listen to music in my car, but even then, I'll have like periods. Like I'll have periods of wanting to listen to music, and then I'll want to listen to a podcast. Oh my God. So Jay-Z and Rihanna. Okay. So I've never told anyone this, but I genuinely, I'm not saying that I believe it, but I am saying that it's believable. Okay, it's believable. Okay, so you guys remember like all of that stuff with like Chris Brown and Rihanna. And also I want to make it very clear, I am not absolving Chris Brown of anything that he ever did. The man obviously has issues. Like the man obviously is a, he's that word, right? An abusive person, yeah, that's him. So when I say this, please don't think that I'm trying to absolve Chris Brown of like having any accountability. This is all alleged, okay? This is just one of those theories. That's all it is. I'm just repeating a theory that I heard, okay? So essentially what happened was, essentially it's rumored that Rihanna was trafficked from Barbados. So she was sold off to Jay-Z by her father. And then Jay-Z gave her a record deal. And then Jay-Z was like messing around with Rihanna. In the event that he was messing around with Rihanna, he ended up giving her a disease. It's like the common Hollywood disease. It starts with an H. It has 6 letters. Allegedly, Jay-Z gave her that. And then she got with Chris Brown, and then she gave Chris Brown that. So then it was the day of the Grammys, the night of the Grammys. Chris Brown found out that he ended up having it, and he went off on Rihanna, and then that's when the domestic dispute ended up happening. And obviously, if Jay-Z is dealing with Beyonce, then that also means that Beyonce has it too. So this is the reason why you've never seen Rihanna and Beyonce collab. They've never done a collaboration, ever. You've never seen Chris Brown and Beyonce do a collaboration, ever. Yep. Yep. And I guess like allegedly there was jealousy. Like allegedly there was jealousy because Jay-Z really liked Rihanna, and that made Beyonce mad. And I guess like Beyonce did like do a decent amount of attempts to end Rihanna's career, but like none of it ended up working. And so supposedly like Ring the Alarm, like I guess supposedly Ring the Alarm, I think that song is supposed to be about Rihanna. I think allegedly there are a lot of songs from the B-Day album that are allegedly about Jay-Z and Rihanna. Yeah, that tea is so piping hot. Like that tea will leave you quiet after. Because when you actually put the pieces of the puzzle together, the shit makes sense. The shit makes sense when you actually put the pieces of the puzzle together with all of that happening. Because you've never seen a collaboration. You've never seen a collaboration amongst the 4 of them in any type of degree. I mean, obviously, aside from Jay-Z and Rihanna, and then obviously Jay-Z and Beyonce, but swapping out, you've never seen a collaboration amongst any of them. Yeah, because the thing about it, like the thing about it is that like when you look at that picture of Rihanna, like that picture when she was battered, when you look at that picture, it's like the level of like anger, like the level of anger that someone would have to be able to batter somebody that bad. Like, I'm obviously not like victim blaming. I'm obviously not doing that. But when I look at that picture and then there's like that alleged conspiracy or whatever, and in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, cause it's by her own admission that she ended up hitting him first, not saying that that justifies him hitting her. But I'm like, I don't know, man. If I had heard that someone had given me that STD, I freaking, whoo, child. And then especially if they knew that they already had it, oh my God. Like I don't know. I really, really don't know. Cause I remember them saying the story and they were saying the story about like allegedly cheating, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, there are definitely a lot of men out there where they're gonna go all the way, you know, even if you come to them with anything alleged. But in my brain, I'm also thinking like, okay, she's a celebrity. Someone sold that picture off to TMZ. Like for these to be such big celebrities, nothing is ever by accident. Celebrities have a whole lot of power. There is no such thing as leaking in Hollywood. There's no such thing as leaking. Everything that is out on purpose, it's out because they want you to know about it. They want you to see it. It's 1000% done on purpose. So, another part of like the conspiracy theory is that like this was also a part of like the humiliation ritual. This was like a part of the humiliation ritual with them like exposing like Rihanna's picture, like with her being battered like that to like keep Chris Brown. It was like humiliation ritual to keep Chris Brown in check. That's the reason why they didn't do anything to stop him getting like suppression, like him getting any suppression from like the airwaves or anything like that. Everyone in Hollywood has it. Everybody in Hollywood has that 6-letter STD. Everybody's got it because they all just sleep with each other. So everybody that you see in Hollywood got it. Like that stuff with like Usher and stuff. I mean, obviously it's alleged, but like I'm telling you, that stuff's real. They all got that 6-letter STD. Every single one of them. And the thing about it too is that the reason why they don't do anything about like Chris Brown doing this stuff, like with him battering up people, because like he's not only battered women, but he's like been, I think he fought men too. Like the last thing that he was in, it was a dispute with a man. He attacked a security guard. A large reason why they're doing this is because like they want to keep him indebted. Like they want to keep him indebted to the music industry. Like they want to keep him performing. Chris Brown gonna have to be performing for the whole rest of his life. He's gonna have to be performing for the whole rest of his life. Like, I'm sorry, Chris Brown is not doing $1,000 photo ops with women if he doesn't have a large debt to pay off. Like people really do underestimate the amount of like effort that these celebrities have to put in to be able to make enough profit. And the industry isn't going to stop him from doing any of the stuff because the way they look at it is like, well, then you got to owe us more money. Like you're going to have to keep working to keep like paying this debt off because you keep getting in trouble. Because all of these celebrities like Mariah Carey is still performing. Mary J. Blige is still performing. Like a lot of these artists are still performing. The music industry, you don't make any money in the music industry. You don't make shit in the music industry. A lot of people think that you do. They don't pay these folks nothing because they have to, they're a lot of the time the deals are lackluster and they have to split up the money with so many people. Yeah, like they're gonna have these people, they're gonna have these people work to the fucking bone. They are. They're gonna have these people work to the fucking bone. Like Mariah Carey, she's always gonna have to perform. She's always gonna have to perform. Unless Tommy Mottola croaks over and dies, she's always gonna have to perform for the rest of her life. You said, do you guys think the plastic surgery fashion is to cover up the STD symptoms like in medieval times? I mean, not that one. I mean, if we're only talking about the 6-letter STD, probably not that one. But I mean, overall, I mean, with like treatments and stuff like that, most of the time people aren't going to be symptom presenting if they had anything anyway. If they are doing what they need to be doing medication wise, they're not going to be symptom presenting where it's going to be obvious anyway. And you also got to think too, like the 6-letter STD, that's only going to be seen if the person is having an outbreak. If the person doesn't have an outbreak, you're never going to know that the person has it because you're not with them while they have an outbreak. There are a lot of people, they have that shit. They go years without having an outbreak. Well, people were coming after Mariah Carey because she did a Sephora commercial. And people were pissed. People were pissed about the Sephora commercial because I mean, we see the economy out here. You know, ain't shit sweet. It's expensive out here. Food's expensive, you know. Christmas ain't gonna Christmas ain't gonna be, you know, the way that it used to be. And so everyone's trying to pinch onto their money. And so I guess a lot of people were pissed off because Mariah Carey had did this like Christmas. She did this Christmas commercial with Sephora, and essentially it was like this little elf. And this elf was like trying to essentially say like, oh yeah, like you're not going to spend any money or whatever, like what's wrong with you because you're not spending any money, shaming people for not spending money for the holidays essentially. Yeah, she put the elf back to work. Oh my god, I sex ed is out here teaching people to look for physical symptoms. Oh my god, you're never going to see physical symptoms of someone having an STD. Never. You're never going to see it, especially if you're dealing with men. Men are so asymptomatic, it's ridiculous. Men are so asymptomatic, it is crazy. They rarely present any issues. This is the reason why like a lot of the time women don't find out that they have something until, for a lot of women, until they're trying to get pregnant. Once they get pregnant and they have to do like a full STD panel, and they're under the assumption like, oh well, I'm in a monogamous relationship, like everything's fine, that's when they realize that they got some shit. It has to be super bad. It has to be super bad for someone to have symptoms. And then the thing about it too is that some of the symptoms that do get shown, it's so easy to pass it off as something else. It is. It's so easy to pass it on as something else. She said TF is mosquito culture. I don't know what that is either. I heard it's because they have the length from the urethra to their base. Yeah, they have a longer. Men have it good. Honestly, men have it good because number one, their urethra is way longer than ours. And then also, number two, even with like, this is outside of STDs, but like, even with things like with our digestive system, the man's digestive system, I think it's longer than women's. Okay, so it's the opposite. So women have a longer colon. That's why men can like wake up every day in the morning and like not need no coffee and like right away they're on the toilet. Like I remember I had an ex and whenever I would spend the night, I'm like, oh my God, you can just wake up and just go to the bathroom. Like you can have a bowel movement first thing in the morning. Like must be nice. My ex thought it was smart to not use protection while cheating on me because he said the girl don't look like she sleeps around like that. I was flabbergasted. Like, sir, you're a dumbass, 1000%. Oh, but yeah, I'm familiar with the term bug catcher. Humans are nasty as hell. Humans are nasty as hell. Okay, like humans are disgusting. Because that's insane. And for any person that would ever say, "Oh yeah, this person doesn't look like they have an STD." Okay, can you please point to me? Can you point to the humans that look like they have an STD, please? Since you know how someone looks when they don't have it, please point me to the person that looks like they do have it. Cause see, when I seen it on TikTok, they were calling it bug catchers, but maybe it was early on before they censored it, and now they switched it over to mosquito culture. Like you could just point out an infected cell. Exactly. Exactly. Point me to the person that looks like they got some shit. Please. Please point me out to that person. Because if you could tell me someone that doesn't have it, you should be able to tell me someone that does have it. Highly doubt you're going to be able to do that. So, no. Like, there's no way that you would ever be able to tell that. Absolutely no. Like, when men say, like, I've had men tell me that before, like, you look like you smell good, or you look like you're clean. Like, huh? And I get it. Like, I get it. There are people with a certain aesthetic, and the aesthetic kind of gives them more of that, like, muddy look. Like, I know Sexy Red kind of has that reputation. People will kind of associate someone that, like Sexy Red, they will kind of associate her with that like real muddled appearance. You know what I mean? I don't want to call anyone dirty because that's just rude, but some people will say, like, oh, yeah, like someone like Sexy Red, it kind of looks like she doesn't, when in reality is just an aesthetic. It's just an aesthetic that the person has. You can't tell that someone has an STD based off of how they look. That's no. You can have a really shitty aesthetic or no aesthetic at all that just automatically is going to deem you as like, okay, you don't even give a damn. You know what I mean? And that may translate to how you live your life in other realms, but yeah, no. And the thing about it too is that like a lot of men, especially that have STDs, like they have the three-letter STD, a lot of them purposely will lift weights. A lot of them purposely will put on a lot of muscle because they don't want to look like they're wasting. So, like, they actually will go out of their way to make it look like they don't have the disease because they don't want to be all shriveled up and skinny. Yeah, because the thing about it is that men are going to convince themselves that everybody's clean. I mean, that's the wild thing about it. They're gonna, of course, they're gonna tell us, "Oh yeah, the girl looks like she's clean," although that's horrible logic already to begin with. But if a man wants to sleep with a woman, in his brain, he's gonna make her look clean anyway. Like, even if that was a thing, he's going to rewrite history in his brain and say she's clean enough to sleep with. If they want it bad enough, they will 1000% lie to themselves to make it happen. If a person gets tested one day and has sex the next day with someone, the test will be null and void, correct? In most cases, yeah. Like, if you contract something with a person, you gotta let it like simmer. You gotta let it like you gotta let it manifest a little bit. You're not gonna be able to get a test the next day and then it's gonna read. And then it also depends on the test. So, like, if you do a blood test, the earliest you should be able to detect something is anywhere between like 6 to 8 weeks. If you're doing like a rapid 3-letter word test, if you're doing a rapid with your saliva, you got to wait 3 to 6 months for that. Cause nope. That's another reason why I'm like, I'm staying celibate, man. I'm staying celibate. Mm-mm. Yeah, like I said, if you're doing a blood test, 6 to 8 weeks. If you're doing a saliva rapid test, 3 to 6 months. Things like the C, I don't want them to demonetize this. I'm sure they're going to have an ad for some STD testing anyway, based off of what I'm saying. But um okay, so the STD that starts with a C, and I think the one that starts with a G, you get that from urine anyway. They're able to test that with urine, and I think everything else they're able to test with blood. And then if you have the 6-letter H, if you have the 6-letter illness that starts with a H, I think the where I go to for my OB-GYN, they only test you for that if you're presenting with symptoms. But I actually did go to a different place and they do test it with blood. So so you can get your HSV tested with blood. You can just say clap in my hands. Yeah. Clapping in Gano is through your urine. That's why I'm celibate, because I don't want to think about this shit. I don't want to sleep with somebody and be thinking about this shit. Like, the peace of mind, whoo child, the peace of mind that I have knowing that I'm not swapping bodily fluids with somebody and I don't know what they got going on, and I'm not having to worry about, are they going to pull the condom off? Are they going to poke holes in the condom? Like, oh my God, the level of paranoia that I was getting. Man. I was like, it's not even worth it. Then I gotta wait 6 to 8 weeks. and get my testing done to make sure, I mean, I can have a peace of mind. I can't even do it immediately. Child, it's not worth it. And then you got other things to focus on, and you can't focus on those things fully because your brain is going so crazy on all of that stuff. It's crazy because men always assume child-free women are promiscuous. Well, yeah, because it's a full projection. Because even when they have a child, they're still child-free because they don't take care of their children, so they're able to still be promiscuous. It's always a projection. And the thing about it is that once you break your celibacy, I broke my celibacy once and I don't want to break it again. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have urges like everybody else. Like I do, I have urges like everybody else. However, the thing about breaking your celibacy is that 99% of the time it's not going to be worth it. And then it's almost like this thing where it's like once you break your celibacy, I don't know if anyone else I don't know if there's anyone that agrees with me. But once you break your celibacy, you kind of feel like you ought to just keep fucking. Like you already done bing, the ball. You might as well just keep the ball rolling at that point. You might as well just keep the ball rolling and you just keep fucking. That's kind of like the attitude that I had. I was like, I already broke my celibacy. I might as well just keep on. I might as well just keep on freaking. And I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. So that's another reason why I'm like, no. Yeah, it's never worth it. My toys, I'm fine. That's good enough for me. My brand deal with Womanizer, they got great toys. Shameless plug. Shameless plug in my link tree in the description in the bio. Shameless plug. Use the code that I have in the link tree. Take care of yourself. I'm telling you, take care of yourself and love yourself with those toys because chow, these men, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, that dingaling is in it. These dingalings out here are infested. They're infested with diseases. They're infested with trauma. They're just can't. Uh-uh. Sounded like you meant the code was take care of yourself. I think so. The slogan for Womanizer is like love yourself. Because they didn't do it before, but now they actually give you a bag to like go along with your toys, and it's so cute. Like it has a little slogan like love yourself on the bag. That's the thing too. I don't know if women use condoms while they're sleeping. Like, are they using dental dam? I don't know. I'm not all that experienced. I've only dealt with one woman in my whole entire life. Well, two women in my whole entire life. So I don't know. I don't know if they're using dental dam or I don't know what they're doing. No idea. Maybe the women loving women can chime in if any of them are watching or they watch after this is uploaded and they get this far. But yeah, no. Like I was watching a video of a woman and she became celibate at 40 and the woman looks like she's in her 60s. So it appears like she's been celibate for a while. and they were interviewing her, and they were asking her about her celibacy, and they were asking her, like they were asking her how she was able to stay celibate. And you want to know what? She said something so good. She said it's the law of physics. She said the law of physics is that like something in motion is going to stay in motion, and then once something stops, it's going to stay stopping. So she said it's the same thing when you're celibate. When you're sleeping and having sex with people, you're going to keep sleeping and having sex with people. And then when you decide to stop, you're just going to decide to stop. And like, that's kind of how I look at it. That's why I said, like, once you break your celibacy, you're going to go back to sleeping with people again. It's really that simple. I've never really heard of anyone that broke their celibacy one time. Yes, an object at rest will stay at rest. Exactly. Thank you. I never heard someone break their celibacy one time and then not start regularly sleeping with people again. Because you already got the party started. Horrible in and out of the bedroom. There was my For You page on TikTok, they definitely feed me like women loving women stuff. And like lately they've been feeding me like lesbians live streams. Cause I do, like, I'm always on a lesbians live stream on TikTok. And they fed me this one video on my For You page, and it was a picture of a scissor. And it was like, please explain or describe your first experience scissoring. And all of the women were like, it was like the best thing ever. Like they said that it was amazing. The women were like, it was the best thing ever. They were like, I married her after. Like they all said that it was wonderful. I was going to say, I know it's a lot of work. I'm like, dang, like it seems complicated. We need to come up with some type of device. We got to come up with some type of device. Maybe it's like a hanging device that you can have, like a swing. So you have like 2 swings, and then on each side of the swing, you got like one where you could put your leg up, and then you got one where you could put your other leg up, and then y'all can just hold each other's swing, and y'all can do it like that. She said, I'm too fat for that. Coochie fat, thighs fat, ass fat. And not to mention, if you have a innie, that's gonna be so hard to do. When you have an innie, meaning that like you have like a fully closed taco, and the only way for you to open your taco is for you to like move the taco thing out of the way. That's so hard. Like that means I have to hold myself up with one hand, and then use my other hand to get my thing open. Like, yeah, like if you have an innie, that's gonna be even more work. Oh, you have an Audi, so it's easy. Yeah, like I have an innie, so that seems like a lot of work. The waxing ladies hated to see me coming. I had one waxing lady, and she was like, I need you to pull that. She's like, I need you to pull that back further. I'm like, oh my God, like Jesus. I ain't got time for all of that. I ain't got time to be investing in all that strength on one goddamn arm. That's a lot of work. we gonna have to take turns. We gonna have to take turns, girl. Or we gonna have to do a 69 or something. But yeah. I'm gonna have to get that contraption. I'm gonna have to get that contraption going if we're gonna be using some scissors. Okay. I'm gonna have to market my contraption because yeah, I'm not scooting myself on a goddamn bed with one arm while I use the other arm to make my innie and outie. That's a lot. She said my lady mouth is closed. Yeah, I mean completely closed. It's 1000% closed. It's like overlapping. Is just completely overlapping. It doesn't want any parts. It doesn't want to be seen. Like Mm-mm. Even men, oh my god, even men when they're down there, even they be having a hard time. They be constantly having to like open up. I'm like, oh my god. You said I imagine some Cirque du Soleil ribbons when you said that, child. I'm telling you, that's what at that point, that's what it would take. I'm not laying on my side. We're gonna have to have something up in the air to assist us because I'm not laying down on anything doing that with the friction and having to hold my weight up and having to oh god no I'm not doing that. Yeah, I don't even think men have to work that hard in the bedroom. And then also, not to mention that it's so small. The pleasure button is so small. So the amount of concentration that it's going to have for me to be like, I got to make sure that this thing is on target. I got to make sure that I have the perfect weight distribution. I got this thing exposed enough and we're in that I'm on the right target too. That is too much for me to think about. Yeah, the men are constantly missing the men are constantly missing the target. I'm like, though sometimes those men go down there and I feel like I'm MapQuest giving them directions. Go right, go left at the lights, go straight. Like back it in, back it in, back it in. Like I feel like I be having to give some of them MapQuest instructions. I'm like, dude, what the freak? She said sinking periods and PMSing at each other. Chow. Even when they bite or do the corn tongue, it's so oh my god, one time a guy was down there and he was using his tongue doing the in and out thing. And I was like, I was just bewildered. Like I don't even know if bewildered is the word I want to use. I was just flabbergasted because I'm like, the fact that a man even thinks that this is doing anything, the fact that a man is really thinking that I feel this right now is crazy to me. And I hadn't had a man do that in a long time. Okay? I hadn't had a man do that in like 8 years, 9 years. Like to me, that's like a rookie move. When a man does that, I know he has no clue what he's doing. he 1000%. I talked about this man on the channel. He's gay. He is gay. Swear to God, he's gay. Because I slept with him and like right away he wanted to turn me around. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Mm-mm. He wanted to turn me around immediately. I said, no, there's no way that you're straight and you're trying to see my behind that quickly. No. And I'm pretty. Most men that are attracted to women, even if it's sexually, they at least want to see the woman's face. They at least want to see the woman's face because they want to at least see the pretty face of a woman. I get like big booties and stuff like that. I don't even have a big booty for you to even want to turn me around like that. So that was like a clear sign. I knew that he was into men. He turned me around way too quick. Like no, child. I've had plenty of experience with men. No, trust me, I belong on my back. Something's wrong with you trying to turn me around right away, sir. And he went down there and didn't know what he was doing. I was like, this obviously is not your arena. And I talked about him on the channel before. He was not trying to, he had 80 billion excuses to sleep with me as to why he couldn't sleep with me. He had umpteen billion reasons to not sleep with me. I'm like, I remember I told my mom, and my mom was like, he's gay. And then my best friend at the time, we would have this joke. I'm not going to say his real name. What's a good name I could come up with? I'm going to just say Igloo. I'm going to just call him Igloo. So when I would tell my friend about this, she would say that he was, gay. And so we would do this joke or whatever. So just randomly, she'd say, guess what? And I would say, what? And she'd say, Igloo is gay. She said, guess what? What? Igloo's gay. She would say it just randomly. Because once I told her everything, and like once I told her about like me sleeping with him and that whole experience, she was like, yeah, he's gay. Right. Like I literally have a yoga mat. I have a yoga mat, and my yoga mat, it was so funny because, okay, so I showed my yoga mat on TikTok. And there was another girl that said that she had the same yoga mat as me, but I wasn't showing the whole yoga mat because I was laying on it. And I said, I don't want to show my whole yoga mat because there's something unique about my yoga mat. And the girl commented, she said, I know exactly what you're talking about. My yoga mat has a clit. I'm so serious. The design on my yoga mat has a fucking clit on it. I'm able to find it on a goddamn yoga mat. It's a lotus flower. Yeah, it's a lotus flower that has a clit on it. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Hold on, let me get it, because I promise you. Let me get it. Hold on. Like, obviously, it's here. clear as fucking day. Yes, it looks like a vagina and it's got a clitoris on it. Like they took lotus flower so serious. They took lotus flower serious because I bought it because it had a lotus flower on it. I didn't know that they were gonna, have it be lotus flower and in human flower too. It's a yoga class, not Matt. I'm hollering. I literally just got that thing because it had a lotus flower on it. And then when I looked at it deep, I was like, there's other things on this rug, on this. And now I'm calling it a rug. There's other things on this yoga mat. I was so shocked. So shocked I was. Yeah, that's why they call it a flower. Like the umpteen names that they have for the female reproductive anatomy. One of the names is flower. It is one of the names is flower that they have. Oh my god, the number one name that I can't stand that they give for our anatomy down there is monkey. Ugh. Ugh. Like if a man were to ever call it a monkey, oh no. Oh no. Like I feel like a Gen X man would call it a monkey. Like I could just see some black Gen X man like bald and just calling it a monkey. Like gross. Yeah, I've heard men call it that before. Like I've heard men calling that before. That shit sound like it stank. No, thank you. Yeah. She said coochie and poom poom, like us Jamaicans call it, child. Yeah, like, oh, that's disgusting. Like, I don't want no man calling it that. No, seriously. I think out of all the generation of men that I can't stand the most is Gen X men. I hate them the most out of everybody. Gen X men get on my fucking nerves. I hate them. She was gonna name you Punani. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't stand Gen X men. Yeah, black Gen X men. Oh God. Oh Lord. And like my dad is a Gen X man, and even he's repulsed. Even he's repulsed by them. Something's wrong with them. The Gen X men need to be studied. They need to be studied. The Gen X men specifically, because just no. Mm-mm. Like, I want the oldest man I could get. Like, I want a 90-year-old. I want someone so old. I want someone so old they got wooden teeth. I want the oldest person possible. I want the oldest man with the most amount of money and the least amount of memory and vision. That's the man I want. The oldest, the demented, the most blind, the most deaf. I want an old man with bifocals and a hearing aid and wooden teeth. She said, I want a mummy. I want the oldest man, and he must have money, and I could take care of the rest from there. I got the rest from there. As long as he's old and his vision is bad and his hearing is bad and he has money, I don't even need him to be generous. He'll be generous without even knowing it. I'll make something happen, okay? On the brink of death. I need this man on the brink of death. Just a few minutes short, just a few minutes short of the grave. That's what I need. And oh my God, whenever I would be at work and I would look at the age of these men, oh my God, I'm like, these men are living too long. These men are living too long. I was seeing some men that were like 90. I'm like, oh God, these men are living way too long. These men need to be max 60 years old. By 60, by 60, they're good. By 60, it's fine. Yeah, I want the oldest man I could find. No, literally. And like I told y'all, there needs to be liver spots. He must have liver spots. He must look like melting plastic. His wee wee must be non-functional. Wooden teeth. No, at this point, no hair. And if he does have hair, he has like that cotton candy hair. Yep, if they were single, they'd be dead by now. I know. I know the wives are keeping these men lasting long. Yep. When I see an old man with liver spots, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I know he at least has money. I don't know if he's going to be generous, but he most likely is going to have some money because them liver spots, baby, I know he been outside. Okay. I know he been outside with them liver spots. And if he got liver spots and he lives in a warm area, baby, I know he's got a timeshare somewhere. He's got some money to be outside to be having liver spots. So oh my God, when I used to dance at the club, oh, I used to be looking for liver spots. I'm like, yes, I need a white man in here with liver spots. Those white men with liver spots always would spend so much money. They would spend so much money. I feel like liver spots is like a pretty good indicator of them at least having some money. And at least in my experience, they were pretty generous. My ex was my age and said we can't get a Yorkshire Terrier because it looked too much like an old man. He caught on to me. I'm hollering. Asian men are I feel like even when Asian men like age, they still look really good and like they still have like a youthfulness to them. I'm telling y'all, get you a man with some liver spots. Get you a man with some liver spots. Yeah, Asian men tend to age really well. They do. They tend to. I'm laughing because from what I see online with Shayla Ray Fitzgerald and Asta Devo, those older men with liver spots are providers. They really do have money. I'm telling you, I'll never tell y'all a lie on this channel, baby. That man with liver spots, he's got money to be outside for a long amount of time, carefree. Dang, they're eaters too. I can't believe it though. I mean, I feel like if I was an Asian man, because they have like so they actually have a chart. They do have a chart of like the average penis size per country, and like obviously the Asian countries are kind of low. I kind of feel like if you're an Asian man, you got no choice but to be an eater. Like you got no choice but to figure out what you're doing downtown. We're gonna have to make up for the lack in some way. But if I ever came across an Asian man and I came across one that had a package down there, chow. Somebody named Zach said, "What the hell did I click on?" That's what his dumbass get for getting into women's business. She said, "I'm being radicalized." All the ones I have been with have been tiny. So they're actually big. We're gonna see. I've seen some and they definitely pack in my experience. Hee hee. Man, I would love to experience an Asian man. I would love to experience one. I just don't think I'm their type. She said, I wish I could send y'all some photos. I have never been able to pull an Asian man ever. I used to deal with the YTs. I used to deal with them. I don't really deal with them anymore. I'm just not attracted to them. Physically, I'm just not attracted to the YTs. You said he was very clingy, but he was not packing. I used to hate when he kissed me. A tatted up Asian man, fine AF. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I want a nice tatted up. I want an Asian man that's all types of tatted and been outside tan. But physically, I'm just not attracted. Physically, I'm not attracted to palm colored men. I'm not. I'm not attracted to them physically. The only reason why I was attracted to them physically when I was younger was because it was all I was around. Once I got around black men, I was like, oh, psh. I was like, oh no, this is what I want. This is what I want. I'm sorry. You have to have some melanin in your skin. You got to have a little bit of something. You got to have a little bit of flair, a little bit of culture to be over here. Ooh, a Samoan man would be nice. Dang, my ex was half Japanese, 6 foot tall, and had full sleeves and had tattoos. Dang. I could see why you were married to him. Dang, I could see how you were married to him. She said black men are a curse. I pray to not be attracted to them. She said I exercised. She said I exercised. I'm hollering. Oh, Clay Thompson, no. No. Mm-mm. I like Blasians, so I like Black and Asian men. Like if I had to pick if I had to pick the top pinnacle peak of like the best type of man that I would want to be with, it would definitely be a Blasian. It would be a Blasian. Klay Thompson, like here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, so I like have this thing. Like I don't know. It's probably giving colorist and texturist, okay? But like I really don't like there's like a shade of like there has to be a starting point of like skin color that a man has to have for me to like him. Klay Thompson is just too light. That's way too light. Like I need someone at my starting point. Like let me make sure. Let me get a picture of Klay Thompson. Physically, I'm not attracted to him. Okay, physically at all, I'm not attracted to him. Even if he were to be caramel today, I would still not be attracted to him. But at least the skin color, the starting point, it has to be it's got to be at my starting point of skin color. And I'm actually tan. Honestly, like I'm still tan. My tan still hasn't went away yet. My face has gotten a little bit lighter, but everything else is still like I still have a tan line on my wrist, but it's fading. But yeah, you have to have like a little bit of melanin. She said, yes, that's colorist. I just like men that are darker. I do. I just like men that are darker. And then another thing too, so like another thing that I like too, I like men that grow out their hair. Another thing with me with black men don't ever grow out their hair. They're so afraid to show the world that they have 4C hair. They keep their hair super low. They keep it super, super, super low. I like men that have their hair long. Like I prefer for men to have a little bit longer hair. The reason why I would prefer for there to be a little bit of a mix is because they're actually going to grow their hair out longer. They're actually going to grow their hair out. Black men always keep their hair so short because they're terrified to show that they have 4C hair. So it's like, okay. She said, is Barack Obama dark enough for you? You asking me if Barack is dark enough for me, like you go set me up with him. Yeah, Barack is dark enough. I'm hollering. She said, is Barack dark enough for you? You got him waiting on me, girl. I'm hollering. I'm hollering. I don't like locks on men. I don't. I love locks on women. I hate locks on men. Like, I freaking hate it. Like literally my prom date, no, junior year, because I didn't go to prom senior year. My prom date in junior year, he had a box cut. Okay, that was in the year 2010. Like box cuts were popular in the 90s. I prefer men that have taller hair or that grow their hair out naturally, like not it being locks. I'm sorry, like, I don't wanna deal with no man. I don't wanna deal with no man that has, like, that much hair and it's like that. Like, I don't like locks on men. Mm-mm. I don't need all of that length. I just want the hair to stand tall off of you. It ain't even gotta be long. I just wanna see a little bit of hair. I just wanna see a little bit of length. That's it. Oh my gosh. When they get those wicks and those starter locks, like the starter locks, I kind of feel like if you're a man and you're getting starter locks, you need to eradicate yourself from dating. You gotta take yourself out the game if you're gonna be doing the starter locks because that's just straight up. Whew. I'm glad that you like it here. Queen, I just want to say I love you. Your channel is smart and fun. I am a white lady and feel so welcomed. And I love your page, brings women together. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and then when I see Wix, oh, I hate them. I hate Wix so much. I kind of feel like if there's a man that has Wix, he, I'm sorry, a man that has Wix ain't got shit to lose, in my opinion. Because the issue about it is that like I don't tend to see men that have wicks and like they're actually well kept. Like they don't ever maintain like the retwist for the wicks to look good. Like I've never seen a man in person have well kept wicks ever. I've never seen it. They look like they throwing up gang signs. Like it looks crazy. I call the starter locks the ugly phase. Like my nephew had some starter locks. I'm so glad that he cut his hair off. I'm so happy he shaved it. He trimmed it down. Mm-mm. It's like if you're gonna do that to your hair, you need to make sure that you consistently have someone that's gonna be able to do your retwist. Another thing too that I've noticed with men when they have these fucking locks, the reason why they let their retwist grow out all crazy is because they're trying to find a woman that'll do the retwist for them for like free. I started realizing that when I started talking to men and I noticed that it was looking rough, they would be like, "Oh, they'd always be on Facebook. Do you know anyone that does a retwist? Do you know it? Do you know anyone that'll be able to get me a retwist?" Dude, you can use Google. There are so many freaking braiding places where they'll do a retwist for you. No, it's because you're trying to fucking use your penis to get you a free retwist. Like I literally had this guy that let me see. I'm pretty for sure he has I'm pretty for sure he has locks. Let me see. Let me get on my stalking Facebook page. What was his name on there? I can't even remember. Let me go to my contacts list. I'll know it. I'll know it from there. Let me see. Yeah, it came right up. All right, let me type it in. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm not lying on myself. This is him, but it's not him. And it's all in. Let me see. I'm gonna stalk his page real quick. He's only got pictures of his fucking kids. Okay, so he doesn't have locks, but like he has braids or whatever. When men they have like little braids or whatever. So I remember him telling me that like there was a girl that was flying into town and she was flying into town because it was something business related that she was doing he offered to like help her with the stuff that she was doing, right? For whatever event that she was having. So he was telling me this story and he's like, "Yeah, like I moved the chairs and I did this and I did that, yada yada yada." Okay, cool. So mind you, she flew here because she has more business to handle. He asks her like the next day, "Hey, like can I come over for you to like braid my hair?" Because I guess at some point they did have a discussion about her potentially braiding his hair, but like it wasn't set in stone. So it was like the next morning and he asked her like, "Oh, would you be able to braid my hair?" And she told him no. She was like, "No." She's like, "I'm way too busy. I have way too much going on. I'm not going to be able to braid your hair." And he was like, he's like, "She told me that she wasn't going to be able to braid my hair. And like, I came to her event and I moved all of these chairs and I did all of this stuff for her." And I'm like, "But she never agreed to braid your hair. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you." Like he was so confused because I didn't see anything wrong with what the woman had did, and I'm like, "She never agreed to braiding your hair. Like you thought because you moved some chairs it was gonna get her motivated to want to braid your hair when she's flying here and she has to handle business. Like no, she never agreed to braid your hair. Like obviously you were trying to get your hair braided for free." Or I guess essentially you were trying to get your hair braided for the transaction of you like moving some chairs. And they always have the nerve to worry about what we as Black women are doing with our hair. Are you kidding me? It never ends. It never ends. Like I said, on women, I really like me personally with women. I feel like women can pull off anything. So, like, women that get locks, women that like honestly women can do whatever the fuck they want with their hair. I'm always going to support women. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they do. Like there's a Chantress Saba. If you like healing music, oh my god, her channel's so good. She's like a chanter. It's like kind of like world music, and she's out in the woods with these men that I forgot what the instrument's called. But she does this like chanting and her voice is so peaceful, and she's got locks, and like she's still pretty. Like if your face is honestly, I look at it like this. If your face is pretty and you have that vibe where you have that like you kind of have like that like egocentric afrocentric like vibe to you, I feel like it's really gonna look good on you. It's really really gonna look good on you. Chantress Seba, Chantresseba, separate. So Chantress Seba, Seba. I love her channel. Her channel is so good if you're into like healing music. It's really good. Like one time I was out on the balcony and I meditated. I meditated to her chanting. Someone had a cat and the cat started meowing. Even the cat liked it. I was like, "Is there a cat meowing?" And it just kept on meowing and meowing and meowing. I was like, "Nice. This is so mystical." She's chanting. So she doesn't do any sound baths. She's chanting. And then she has someone, it's like a hand pan. I think it's called a hand pan. She has someone playing that like the hand pan while she is chanting, while she's singing. And she does like frequency healing and like stuff like that. Like it's really, really good. You got to check her out. She said the reason why I can't date black men is their obsession with hair. Oh, girl, who you telling? Who you telling? And the thing about it is that it's really for better or for worse. Even if they like your hair, they're just going to be so obsessed. They're going to be so obsessed with the freaking hair. Like, this is the reason why, like, when I do date black men, like, I mean, of course, it's black men, right? Whatever. This is the reason why I prefer to not date like dark skinned black men, because they have this obsession. They have this obsession with hair because they hate their 4C hair so much. They hate it so, so, so much. So as soon as they see that like you don't have 4C hair like them, they're like, oh my God, your hair. Oh my God, your hair. Like, I would always get sew-ins with the leave out. So one of my exes that was a dark skinned black man, like he didn't know what hair I had underneath my sew-in. And then the pandemic happened. And obviously I couldn't keep my sew-in in. So I had to take my sew-in out. And he had seen my hair when I came out of the shower. And this was when I was repeatedly straightening my hair. Because, like, my hair's pretty long. It's pretty long. And I had straightened it, and he was like, I'll never forget. He was like, oh my God. He was like, your hair is so pretty. He was like, I'm so glad that it turned out that you have pretty hair. And then I remember when I straightened my hair, and I remember he was like talking to his homeboys, and he's like, yeah, I'm so good. He's like, I'm so glad that I have a woman that has beautiful hair and nice hair. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, you're saying it as if you're wearing the head on your hair. You're wearing the hair on your head. Like, who says that? Like, they talk about it like they're gonna take your hair off of your head and they're gonna start wearing it. Yeah, I'm like, what the freak? Like, he was obsessed with it. He's like, wow, your hair. I'm like, oh God. Quit dyeing my hair at 60. Yeah, your hair is long. Oh my God, your hair is beautiful. I could see it from your profile picture. Your hair is beautiful. Super long. I was blonde for a year and I was like, I'm never dyeing my hair again. It could all turn gray and I'm never dyeing it. I'm never going to color correct my hair or do anything with it. Mm-mm. I could have a skunk patch tomorrow. He probably had plans to cut it and make a bust down. Like, girl, look at my new hair. That's the reason why they're so obsessed with wigs. They're obsessed with wigs because they can't wear one. Oh yeah, baby. The red hair, the sexy red hair is going to attract dusties every time. It's gonna attract dusties every time. Like anytime you have any type of colored hair that's not a natural color, it's gonna be a dust magnet. Dust freaking magnet. They're gonna be like, yep. I know she's ready for a dusty. Cause I've wanted to try like a red wig, and I'm like, man, no. I'm not even trying to deal. I ain't trying to even deal with those problems. Having these dusty men come to me. No, thank you. Mm-mm. Yeah, because it's like, oh my God, like that's how you know they hate their hair. And that's the reason why I say a lot of these black men, that's why they keep their hair cut so short because they don't want the world to know that they have 4C hair. That's why when men are like, you all are wearing wigs, you all are wearing weaves, you're fucking cutting your 4C hair super short. You're putting a ton of product on your hair and you're cutting off your forehead circulation with a fucking do rag so that way you can have waves. That way it'll look like your hair is a different texture than what it really is. You're trying to manipulate your hair texture because you don't want people to know that you have 4C hair. That's why it's like I gotta get the waves, waves, seasick. Like, please, please. Just because you're not wearing a freaking wig doesn't mean that you're not trying to manipulate your fucking hair texture and your freaking hair pattern. Yes, that's the reason why they want those damn waves because they literally do not want people to know that they have 4C hair. Yes, that line across their forehead. They're over here waking up in the morning, getting ready, got this big old indent in their forehead. Waves on swim, so they hate him. I'm hollering, not the Nikki reference. I'm hollering. All day brushing their heads like idiots. Yes, the damn brush. Got it. They get carrying the brush around with them. Oh my God. That's what one of my exes used to do. He used to carry that goddamn brush with him everywhere. I'm like, bruh. Ugh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Like, sir, you're putting all of these chemicals on your goddamn scalp, and you're gonna sit here talking about wigs. Like, they are so insufferable. Then, and then the thing that kills me, this is my natural hair. They're always moving the goalposts. I cannot tell you how many black men, whenever I wear my curly natural hair, they sit here and say, they will comment unwarranted and talk about how my hair isn't flowing down my back. Like, this is why I like European women because European women, their hair is flowing down their back. And why do I give a fuck? Why do I give a fuck? And it's like, and this is what cracks me up. If black men actually grew their own hair out and if they actually got to know their 4C hair, they would realize that when you have textured hair, you have something called shrinkage. You have something called shrinkage. So you will have hair flowing down your freaking back. It's shrunk from the fucking curls. And I'm not going to straighten my hair. I absolutely am not going to straighten my hair. Absolutely not. Assume this woman who wore a beautiful afro on the show and said he doesn't like short hair. Yeah, I remember that. And you obviously could tell that the woman's hair was curly and so she has shrinkage. Like, once again, if black men actually knew their own hair that was growing out of their head, they would understand that when you have curly hair, you have shrinkage. That's the sign of having healthy hair is based off of how much it shrinks. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and heat damage my hair and have my curl pattern leave so that way I can be deemed likable or be deemed attractive to a black man. No thanks. No. Not doing it. I'm not putting no goddamn heat in my hair. I refuse. I refuse. Listen, I live that life already. Because when women are like, how come you don't get a blowout? How come you don't get a silk press? Listen, I grew up around nothing but white people. Nothing but white people. I didn't even know. I've worn my hair. I've worn my hair like this a large majority of my life. So like growing up, this is how I wore my hair. I didn't get no braids. We never added any hair. I never did anything with my hair. This was how my hair looked growing up. I would always have it in a pineapple like this. Big old pineapple. That was when I grew up in like in a predominantly black area. Then we moved to a predominantly white area. And they would like make fun of my hair and say that like my hair was a disruption and they couldn't see in the classroom and my hair was so big. And so then that was what made me like want to start straightening my hair. So I started straightening my hair from like 5th grade. One of my fucking pictures, my 5th grade picture, I have a burn on my forehead because I was straightening my fucking hair for my school picture. Like this shit runs deep. I had a curling iron because I wanted to curl my hair. I curled it and I got it too close to my forehead and I burned my fucking forehead the day of picture day. Just for this white boy to make fun of that. Just for this white boy to make fun of the fucking burn that I had on my forehead. So I had to burn my fucking forehead to straighten my hair. Did that from about 5th grade. Did that from about 5th grade all the way until I was about 20. When did I start getting sew-ins? I want to say I started getting sew-ins at 25. Started getting sew-ins from 25 to about 28. And then that was when I started wearing my hair curly again. So I'm never going back. I'm never going back. I lived a large portion of my life straightening my hair to gain approval and to fit in with people. No, I'm not doing that shit. It's either my natural hair curly or someone else's hair that's straightened. I'm not damaging my hair again ever. No, it's not happening. People could come with all these men could come up with all the crap they want to talk about with wigs and weaves and all that stuff. Fuck you. I don't care. No, I'm not yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. I'm not doing all that. I'll just braid my hair down and I'll just get a wig. Call it a day. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. This was a good live stream. I needed it. This was healing for me. It was. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I love y'all so much. And I'll be back on here tomorrow before Thanksgiving. And yeah, this stream was ultra long. So yeah, I love y'all.